First of all, uh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everybody. Bobby.
What's up, my brother?
It's good to see you, my brother. Welcome everybody to the Full Season Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Here on Twitch and Kick live every Wednesday morning, normally at 9:30 a.m. But it was just so happened that I had today off instead of Wednesday, and Bobby had today off instead of Wednesday, so it just worked out.
It worked out perfectly.
We're here. Truey says he's ready for the good debates today.
Oh, I hope you're in here for some Tennessee Titan talk. Because
listen, we're gonna talk. All right, so we are gonna talk about. So I have side notes I'm gonna throw in first, just because I want to say some stuff before we talk about other stuff. Bobby, how have you been, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Sports is jumping right now.
Booming.
So, man, I'm good.
You're looking good. You're looking good. Your hair looking good. Your beard looking good.
Appreciate that.
Look at you. Yeah, bro got the new PC last year. Like, bro's coming up in the world. Bobby's muted. Can't hear him. Cap it, Rooney. I can hear him. Oh, maybe you can't hear him. Why can't you hear me? I can hear him. Oh, maybe you can. Good call, True.
W chat.
Yeah, W Truly, man. God, I've never known that.
W chat.
Yeah, good call. Let's see. See why you can't. Say something, Bobby?
You?
No, that's not it. Say something now? No, that's not it.
How about now?
There you go.
How about now? Yep.
Good call, Truey. Well, you two will have the first 9 minutes. You two will have the first 9 minutes. Good call, Truey. No, so last time I got my computer done by Mr. Chinny, he separated my audio now. So
Nice.
I forget to add channels back.
Right.
So I don't think people heard you the whole last podcast then. No, yeah, we did.
It's from my POV.
I thought we did. Anyways, good call, Truey. Appreciate you.
Anyways, yeah. Truey, while you're here, hopefully you're here for the Tennessee Titans talk. I know you're a Titans fan.
Oh, yeah, because I have a lot to say.
And you boys got some work to do.
I have a scenario that I think is going to fuck the game up. And I think you're going to hear what I'm going to say, and you're going to be like, no fucking way, because you're going to agree. All right, check game, right? So we're going to talk about it. We do have our first guest today. One of our brothers, need a quarterback. Fuck Will Levis. Facts. Will Levis does stink. But we'll get into that.
We'll get to that.
Give us a second. That's the first thing we're talking about. Once we get Berg in here, first thing we're talking about. But we are bringing on one of our brothers, one of our gang members. He's with us in the org, ODG. He's one of the realest motherfuckers really I've ever met in the space. Good dude. We're about to test his ball knowledge. Here in just a second.
Indeed.
We're gonna test bro's ball knowledge. I think he's gonna be with us the whole pod. I told him he's more than welcome to stick around the whole entire pod. Whenever he's ready to exit, he'll exit. But yeah, we're gonna be talking with our boy. I'm making sure he's ready. We're gonna get him pulled in here, and then we will start talking straight football, because I know that is what we are wanting to see. We're gonna skip past basketball.
If Bergsky stays, he stays like he has the potential to do. If he leaves early like his team did this year.
He's a Steelers fan?
I think Cleveland.
Oh, they suck.
Yeah.
I'm a Raiders fan. I don't know. We're equally as ass. We equally suck.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Because all three teams we're talking about right now have top picks in this year's draft. So,
bro, saying he's a Red Wings fan. They suck too.
No, don't let him fool you. The Red Wing, no. He's from Tennessee. No, you're not.
Bro doesn't like it. Bro, listen, I'm surprised.
He's a Florida Gators fan.
Dog, I told you.
Lakers fan.
I told you about Truey, bro. He has.
We talked about this last episode, and I stand on this. I do not trust people that are from somewhere with favorite teams from across the country.
So listen, I don't live where I grew up,
which makes sense.
I moved away, but all my favorite team, as you can see, University of Southern California. There's a Mookie Betts. Funko Pop. There's a Steph Curry Funko Pop.
When I get down south, I'll bleed Bills Mafia forever.
No pro teams near me though. What do you? Yeah, there is. Memphis is like, isn't? You're from Tennessee. What do you mean? You got Memphis. You got
Nashville. You got the Tennessee Volunteers.
No, that's crazy. See, Tyler, that is crazy. Living in PA and being a fan of the Niners.
It's crazy. What are your ties to San Francisco? That's my
Memphis
question.
is 7 hours from me. I'm on the. Who gives a
How
fuck?
far is Detroit from you? How far is the University of Florida from you?
How far is LA from you?
How far is the University of Florida? Right? How far is the Lakers Stadium?
Fucking 14 hours.
The Lakers Arena. That's funny.
4 days. If you're on the east side of Tennessee, my guy. Big fan says Alex Smith can't be a fan of Steelers. Terrible. Got relatives in San Fran. All right.
So that's understandable. You have some ties
because you like a player. See, I'm not a Warriors fan. Let me state that. I don't like the Warrior. I like Steph Curry. Right? So if Steph Curry leaves the Warriors, I'm a fan of wherever that man's going. Like, go them. Because I want Steph Curry to be great, right? Bobby hates Steph Curry. That's why he's making that face. He hates my love for Steph Curry.
I don't have a favorite basketball team either, so I'm a little jealous. I'm
a bandwagon. I'm a Steph Curry fan. I'm on his team, guys. I'm team Steph Curry. I don't give a shit. You can go to the Shanghai Sharks, and I'm gonna go buy a jersey. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be the top selling jersey ever. But no, like having a tie to a player is different than just being like, oh, bro, I only like this team because they're good. I mean, that's like somebody being from New York and be like, oh, I'm a Kansas City fan. How are you a Kansas City fan?
Why and how?
Yeah, I mean, like, oh, because Patrick Mahomes. That's relevant. That's recency bias. You're 28 and
right.
Gotta follow the GOAT, but NBA mainly like players. Who's your GOAT? Who's your GOAT in football and who's your GOAT in basketball? Hold on.
That's a good question.
Let's investigate your ball knowledge, Tyler. Let's investigate your ball knowledge. I like Kobe, Lakers, Jeter, Yankees, Tebow, Florida. See, that's a cop. That sounds like a cop out. You're naming all the most relevant players to ever have played for those franchises. That's not. Jeter's one of the greatest Yankees ever, brother. Like, what are you talking about? Football, let me think real quick, but NBA definitely LeBron. Oh my god. All right.
I agree.
No,
personal opinion. I agree.
No, you don't, Bobby. You don't agree with that.
I can't. Basketball GOAT, LeBron for me.
I can't, in my heart of hearts, think you believe that.
I don't think it's arguable. Is that my favorite player? No, my favorite player is Shaq.
I think Muggsy Bogues is the greatest player ever, brother.
That's tough.
Dog started for 11 straight years at 5'9". All NBA first team 6 times at 5'9", guys.
I ain't mad at that.
Listen, bro, that's motherfucker make you think anything possible.
Yeah.
MJ can't do everything LeBron can. It's arguable. Times, I think. Like, I think it's all relevancy. That's why I don't think there is a greatest of all time. I think there's greatest of generation. That's always been my thing.
Yeah.
I think LeBron's the greatest in his generation. I won't argue that. I think MJ was the greatest in his time. I think Kobe was the greatest in his prime. Like there's
Okay,
everybody
so
had their
I have
run.
a question then for you and for chat, I guess, which not to like I don't want you to think about it in because when you answer it, it's gonna make it sound like you're answering, you know what I mean? You're giving the answer I want. But with that being said, what is the greatest overall generation of basketball we've ever seen? Would it be LeBron's era, Kobe's era,
So
MJ, you know what I mean?
if
Like,
you want my like, so I would answer that subjectively though, because I would answer it. My favorite era of basketball was when T Mac was hooping, AI was hooping, Chauncey Billups, and then like that's when I grew up. That I grew up watching basketball. You know what I mean? Like that was my like I fell
Kobe's
in love
years.
with the game.
I would say
Yeah,
I think that's
I
the greatest generation of basketball.
growing up in California, that's all I fucking watched, bro. Every night, 7:30, the Lakers are on TV. I promise. Like so,
Right, right,
it
right.
was Derek
2010.
Fisher hitting
See,
game
I'm
winners
not
in the
mad at that.
playoffs, and you know what I mean. Like so, I would answer that. Like I think that generation was the best. So if you're answering it like that, it would be somebody from that time. So Braun would fit to that, but so would Kobe. So would I mean, Shaq was the most dominant he ever was in that time. Like, so it's all subject. That's what I'm saying. It's so subjective that there's no right answer. I don't think. I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer in the argument because I
Right,
think it's generational.
right, right.
I'm a Knoxville Ice Bears fan. What the fuck is that, cousin?
Dude.
Grew up LeBron Jam, but I don't think anybody beats his record ever. I personally like 04 to 16. Can't speak for earlier. Oh, see, I'm a 99. I was born in 99. So I remember starting watching basketball in like 05. Like
Right.
what 2K was that? 2K5. Whatever 2K cover that was. I remember that 2K cover. Playing that game. And Lamar Odom, who was on crack. No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
The Kardashian effect. It's the Kardashian effect.
Yo, but Chris Humphries kind of got more famous because of the Kardashians, no?
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily a positive thing.
See, so, but can I change my answer a little bit?
Go for it. Go for it. I haven't even given mine like completely yet.
I do like the Steph era.
I think that today's era is by far more skilled. I don't think that players hand checking really like you can hand check a player like Jokic all you want, but how much does that really stop him? He scores maybe 4 points per game less per season. Like how much? I think today's NBA is far more skilled than my favorite time. I just think basketball as a totality in the 2010s era was a lot more competitive. There was more. It was more spread out. There were so many fair teams. You had teams like the Kings, Detroit. Like there was so many teams that were
right. And so that's my thing is. So do you think it's rule based? Because like, do you think if we had these players from the era that we love, you know, the Steph, like the play style we have right now, right? If we stuck that back in the 2004 through 2016 era, do you think we would have the same vision of basketball? Or do you think we would think that was the greatest generation ever? Mix of because you could be physical, but somebody's still gonna outshoot you. Like, do you think the play style would worsen because of the rules? Or do you think it would better because of the rules? You know what I mean?
That's kind of for me. I like the physicality, but I kind of think that's comes down to which side of the game you like more. I personally like.
I don't think Wemby could play in the 2004 era with those bigs.
And that's where like some of the older players will make an argument that is valid because if Wemby's playing against players like Shaq. Or like
Brad Miller.
You won. He's probably not playing the 5.
Brad Miller's insane ball knowledge, by the way.
no, elite defender. He's probably not playing the 5. He's probably playing the 4. And you kind of train, you prepare different. So like players now like SGA. I was gonna say that like SGA is getting a lot of props because he's scoring the basketball at an elite rate and he's doing it from mid range, which is
right. He's doing it, bro. He's doing it.
It's not
the modern day DeMar DeRozan.
Literally.
He's DeMar DeRozan, but DeMar DeRozan's still in the league.
70% of his scoring is coming from mid range with like 12% from the free throw line. So he's only shooting less than 10% of his shots from 3, which is crazy for today's time. So
SGA is MVP.
I think,
I'll tell you that now.
Despite the rules, an elite player is an elite player. You throw LeBron, Kobe, Curry, Durant, Shaq, MJ.
Well, LeBron's old ass played in 3.
Jordy, you throw any of these players in any era, and they're top 20 basketball players for a reason.
You think
top
they're
10
the
basketball
same?
players for a reason.
So I agree
certain
with
players
I
are
agree.
certain players are better. Certain players are a little bit worse, but they are still Hall of Fame players. In my opinion.
See, I can agree with. So like, I don't think you could take like any Joe Schmo from today's NBA and drop him in the 90s. And
Correct.
He's going to be the same.
Or vice
I don't
versa.
believe that.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. I don't believe you're going to take the 17th man off the bench in the 90s and put him on the NBA floor today. No, he's going to be a 6'11", 425-pound white dude that is a brick house.
And that's not even the end of. I would go as far as some NBA starters. You take no shots at Jaden Ivey, but you take a player like Jaden Ivey and put him back in the 90s, and he probably doesn't.
He's not getting no run.
Doesn't thrive.
No run.
You know
Jordan
what I'm saying?
Poole's getting no run in the 90s.
Right.
Like, just it doesn't fit. Even though it was Warriors versus Cavs for years, it was still the best and most competitive basketball we could have seen. That was some of the greatest basketball we will ever see.
Yes,
no doubt. It was some of the funnest too. Does Wemby really play the paint though at 7-6? No, Wemby doesn't. He blocks shots. That's what Wemby does. Wemby blocks shots.
I think that he was talking about that with the old era of basketball, guard Shaq, things like that.
Which I think about D Rose. I think D Rose retiring was great. I think he did it his way. He went out as a mentor in Memphis. I think he did what he had to do for Ja Morant, and it's showing in Ja Morant this year. I will say that I take back everything I said about Ja Morant last year. I said I thought Ja Morant was almost done, probably. But he is very much changed who he is as a person. You see it. You see the growth in him. You see the growth in his play. The Grizzlies are looking great. You see the growth in the personality. Like, he's changed. And I think he says it all the time that he gives a lot of props to D Rose for helping him kind of understand how to be a professional.
Indeed.
So I think he did what he wanted to do. He went out his way. He went out swaggy as fuck too.
Yep. He went out
playing
exactly
with his
how he
son
wanted.
and all that.
Yeah.
Playing with his son, all that in the high school game, like that was dope. Like seeing all what Joakim Noah said.
Yeah.
That's all, man. It's great to see greats get appreciated.
Indeed.
Because some greats don't get appreciated until it's too late. Do you think Pat Bev will sign with NBA? No, I think Pat Bev's done in the NBA. I do not think Pat Bev will sign with the NBA team next year. If there's no Curry, D Rose, I'm gonna tell you right now, if D Rose doesn't tear his ACL, I personally, in my heart of hearts, think Derrick Rose would be still right now probably a top 6-7 point guard. He'd be on the decline, but bro, that D Rose was just so special. Like, that shit was nuts.
Special player, and I wasn't a fan of him when he was playing because I like D Wade. So
me too. I was a Wade, bro. When Wade dunked on Varejão's punk ass.
I do think though that things wouldn't have played out how people think they would have played out. I think maybe not in Chicago. Right. I think they would have ended up having hell against LeBron. Like we seen his MVP year that they were competitive, but yeah.
No,
they
bro, nobody
will
was beating him
forever.
at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah. He would have been top 5 point guard, no doubt. Yeah. If he didn't get hurt, he would be a top 5 point guard ever. I could say.
Yeah.
Because I think just being the youngest MVP ever proves a lot. Like he won MVP at that age against a lot of real dogs. Like Kobe was still hooping, Durant was hooping, Bron was hooping. Like there was got like you know what I mean? That
All right,
meant something at that time.
Westbrook still would have been better than D Rose ever was. Westbrook is better than D Rose ever was.
Oh, 100%.
I think he's the OG Russell Westbrook. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I 100% agree with that. I think people slander Russ way too much.
Yep.
I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. I might swerve in that corner. Ooh. Yo, shout out Leandro Ball, dog. Shout out to Cuz, bro. He ain't hooping, but he's talking about it.
Word.
All right. We spent time talking.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's get in.
We're gonna go ahead. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get Berg in here so we can get into this football.
Let's get in.
Get Big Sexy in here. Hello, Berksy. Hello, Dad.
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
Hello, Mr. Bergsky. All right, everybody. This is Mr. Bergsky, the one and only.
Yeah.
What did Wilt really score 100?
No, we did not.
No footage didn't have enough. Fuck no. I don't believe somebody can score 100 in an NBA game. If nobody today can do it, nobody then did it.
He scored high 70s.
If Steph Curry has not yet scored 100, Devin Booker has not yet. Motherfuckers have scored 70, and that's all they can do. They literally said, I could not score the ball anymore.
I think Kobe could have done it.
Kobe had 81, and that's the highest anybody's gotten since. I don't think anybody's had 80. Nobody's had 80 cents, I don't think.
Nope. Devin Booker was the next closest, if I'm not mistaken.
71. Kobe 81, yeah, but Kobe was
75.
different, brother.
Kobe D. Mitch might have had 75.
I think brother took 70 fucking shots. I think bro took 70 shots to get 81. Like,
Gotta check that stat line.
It's impressive. 81's impressive, but I mean, taking
81's impressive regardless. I don't care. I don't care if you.
I
don't care if you go 40 for 500. 81's pretty impressive.
When he had 50 on his last night or 60 on his last night, and bro took 51 shots to get it. Everybody was like, "Oh, he took 51 shots." I was like, he was never playing again. Take every many shots you fucking want.
Ben still dropped 60.
Right?
Yeah, that was crazy. Embiid was close, I think. Embiid had, you know what? Google's free. Let me Google this real quick. LaMelo had 92 in high school. I remember watching that shit. You guys remember that shit? When that was
so D. Mitch had a 71. It was not 75. 71 and Embiid had 71.
That's the closest, yeah. People have had 70. Nobody's had above 71. I thought D. Mitch had the 71. Yeah. Devin Booker has 72.
Him, David Robinson, Elgin Baylor have 71.
Mm-hmm. That kid had like 120. Yeah, bro. Like in high school. Oh, the D3 kid. No, Jack. I don't remember. Jack.
I know. Yeah. There was a girl too. Right. Dropped a hundo.
So, real quick, we're gonna get into football. Big Bird. That's where we're going. I'm gonna go ahead. So, 92 in high school is insane. LaMelo's good. LaMelo was one of the greatest high school basketball players ever. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
Most entertaining.
Yeah.
Berg. 2020 Mount Vern or 2016 Chino Hills?
I like the Chino Hills team. They were just fun to
watch.
I'm telling you right now, Chino Hills is clearing any high school team, I think. Dude, bro. That team was lethal.
It was just like entertainment just to watch them play.
They were so fun because that was like, that's when they had their little TV show and shit on Facebook. That shit was so fun.
Dude, I would have traveled out there just to watch them play, just to have the opportunity.
If I could have afforded to go, I'm from like 30 minutes from where they're from. Chino Hills, I grew up like 30 minutes away. If I could have afforded to fly back home at that time, I would have went and watched them play. but I was also a young kid. So that shit was the most entertaining thing I've ever watched in my life.
For sure.
I don't care what nobody says.
For sure.
Chino Hills, bro, dog. Like LiAngelo Ball, as much of a meme as people want to make him now. Listen,
Bro, it's a bucket. Bro, it's a bucket.
Bro, listen, bro had 70 like 40 times in high school. They said.
I think out of
70.
the three brothers, I like Lonzo. I feel like Lonzo's the better one out of all of them.
Nah, Melo,
Zoe
and
just has
it's
to
not
stay
even
healthy.
close. I don't think it's ever been close.
So listen, if Zoe was never hurt, I think it's more of a conversation.
I don't think it's close.
Zoe just
even healthy.
So listen,
I just don't think he can put the ball in the basket
like
LaMelo can. I don't think Zoe would have ever averaged 26 a game, 25 a game. That was never going to happen.
No, LaMelo.
He was going to be more well-rounded, like as a whole, but
so I think
the youngest always has
all
it the
around.
best,
Bro. That's what LeVar said it.
And it's always like that.
LeVar said it. He always said that. He said LaMelo's going to be the best because he's been playing 5 years up since he was 5 years old. Bro's 5 years old playing 10U AAU basketball.
Literally.
So bro's always been a dog. That's why like people are like, oh, Charlotte needs to get rid of him. For what? Charlotte stinks. They've always stunk.
That's the best thing that's happened to Charlotte in
him and
history, honestly.
Listen, him and Brandon Miller are everything they have right now. They should go ahead and just salvage whatever the fuck they got.
Yeah.
Whatever they got going. Went Zoe, Jello, Melo in high school. That's my opinion. Now Melo and at his point, Jello could be better than no, bro. Bro said Jello could be better than Zoe.
In high school, I'm still taking Melo.
Who's the better rapper, Jello or Alonzo?
Come on now, man. I'm like, man, whoa.
No.
I've never heard Lonzo.
Yo, Lonzo really be talking that shit.
I wasn't really vibing with it too much. It wasn't bad. I wasn't vibing with it too much.
They're both not great, but
unpopular opinion, Jello could be on an NBA team. No.
He could be on an NBA team. He could be on a G League team.
It's his person. Talent wise, yes. It's his person. His
attitude. Mm-hmm. Bobby, what's the one thing I say about everybody we've ever talked about as a draft prospect?
It's man, and
character fucking matters
a lot.
And his character sucks. Like every interview you see, he's just like, "Oh, I'm NBA ready." You got to prove yourself. I don't think he would take a spot. That's the unfortunate part. I don't think he has the self-awareness to realize that he's not going to score 40 a game like he's at Chino Hills.
Right.
Yeah, he would definitely be a good off the bench person.
I could think like give him a year in the G. I think he could move to the NBA.
The problem is he's already had that.
Yeah, that is the problem.
You know what I'm saying?
He's got to go overseas. He's got to go the overseas
Yeah.
route. But he already said he's not. He's already told his brother, he's like, I'm too good for that.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Like,
that's the thing.
You know how many players would literally lay down and I hate to say it, but like do whatever to be an NBA player. Like they'd give their life to be an NBA player, and you won't even go overseas to show teams that you're serious.
Well,
no.
Fuck it. Since we're on LaMelo Ball, or since we're on the Ball brothers, so LiAngelo's not getting the NBA money, but he is getting the rapper money. So he is set to perform his new corner, Swerve Bend That Corner Whoa. Apparently, he is set to perform that at Rolling Loud in LA this year. His new song, Tweaker, was the 12th most streamed song in the world the day it dropped. It had 1.32 million streams in its opening day on Spotify. And then LiAngelo has signed a $13 million contract, $8 million guarantee with Def Jam and Universal Music Group. His label, Born to Ball Music Group, Jello retains full ownership of his music and record label. So he got $8 million for one song that blew up on TikTok. And now he's about to go drop an album.
That's how you should do it.
And I mean, listen, you can't be mad at him.
You know what I'm saying? Get it how you can.
You can't be mad at, get your bag how you can, brother. I'm not, what can I be mad at? I'm done talking about the Ball brothers. Bro had to play Rockin' for one song. After that, he's gonna be rapping and everybody's just gonna be standing there.
Bro, that'll be the greatest set of all time to go see.
It's gonna be the greatest 3 minutes of anybody's lifetime, and then we're never gonna see it again.
That's funny.
All right, so NFL, there's some things we need to talk about.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the Cowboys fired Mike McCarthy. Okay. Jerry Jones immediately contacted Deion Sanders as the top candidate, and there is mutual interest and, quote, contract negotiations being done on both sides. I have a theory. I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to let you two speak. I think what's going to happen is he's going to go to Jerry Jones. He's going to say, you trade for the number 1 pick. I draft Shador, and then I'll be your coach. They're going to do everything they can. They're going to trade Dak Prescott to Tennessee, plus a fuck ton of picks. Tennessee gets their quarterback. They get draft capital. Cowboys get Shador, and they get Deion. I'm going to let you boys speak. Do what you boys do. Bobby, we'll start with you. Berg, we'll finish with you.
Let's get to reality here. Jerry Jones as an owner sucks. Prime as a coach sucks. It's a match made in heaven. That's not going to happen. I don't see Deion, coaching any NFL team this year. And regardless of what, 100% I agree.
Can I ask why?
Why? Because he's not.
Like, what do you see as a coach that you think wouldn't translate?
Any of it. You are the reason you quote unquote thrived in college football was because you were easily just came in as the number 1 recruiter who every kid wanted to play for Deion. We watched 5-star players go to Jackson State. We watched them follow you. That doesn't really happen in the NFL. Our players going to want to play for a coach. Yes. 1, it's not going to happen the first year. And 2, it's not going to translate like college. There's no transfer portal where players can just freely enter and go wherever they want. Prime as a coach sucks. Are we tweaking? I just don't see a average college coach translating to an elite NFL coach. I will say if any crazy owner goes for it, it would be Jerry Jones, but I don't see it happening. I also don't think Tennessee would want Dak Prescott. That doesn't put you over the hump, and you're now paying a ridiculous amount of money to a quarterback when you could go for a quarterback on a rookie deal and then build around. It just, as a totality, it doesn't really make sense to me. I also think it would take it'd be so much to go up to number 1. Dallas would be trading forever. They go for Shador, and then you're not winning for years.
Like you got CD under contract. Like, it makes sense on their team.
For a rookie quarterback, it does.
Like so the reason I say it is because it just makes sense. Like, if you look at it schematically from Jerry Jones's point of view, you're hiring
an owner that cares about money more than winning. Yeah, it makes sense at that point. Yes.
Who gives a fuck how good the coach is? He has a good relationship with him. Deion's a good sell. You know what I mean? He's a good face. He's a good voice. People listen. When he talks, people listen. He's entertaining. He's going to bring eyes to the Cowboys. He's going to bring revenue to the Cowboys. That's all Jerry Jones gives a fuck about.
I'm calling it right now. Quote me on this. If Deion becomes the coach of the Cowboys, they will be 4th place in the NFC East as long as he is the coach there. They will finish behind the Giants as long as he is the coach there.
All right. Mr. Berg, what do you feel about Deion to the boys?
Definitely feeling about the matchmaking in heaven. I mean, it seems like a Jerry Jones type of thing to do. I mean, from watching the Cowboys, as long as I've seen them make bad decisions, I feel like they would have Deion as their head coach.
So it doesn't. So the people that are out there You're not getting Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's not coming to the Cowboys. That's just not. It makes no sense. Why would he leave it? Why he's going to leave his offensive coordinator of the team that's probably going to win the NFC to go to the Super Bowl, to go coach a team that has Dak Prescott? You're paying him $75 million a year. Like, you're paying that man almost $100 million a year to almost lead the league in picks and be hurt. Like, so the only thing that makes sense is you get rid of Dak, you get a young quarterback, you make something happen, and you go get a young, or I guess not young, but a hot name in coaching. Because everybody like talks about Dion. It's a hot topic. It'll be a hot topic. It's been a hot topic since he got the job at Colorado. Oh, where's he going to coach in the NFL? Once Shador goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. So I think Dion ends up coaching somewhere in the NFL this year.
This year?
Also, listen, I've said, here's the second thing I'll say. I think the Raiders may do the same thing. Raiders have the draft capital.
Vegas makes more sense. Vegas makes more sense to me.
But it doesn't, because who's the fuck's he going to throw the ball to? Brock Bowers every time? That does not going to work. So, listen, here's a scenario for the Raiders. My trash ass team. I don't have a jersey up yet because I'm waiting for it to come. Don't worry. One's on the way. But here's a scenario. We trade every first round pick we have, every second round pick we have to the Titans for the number 1 pick. We take Shador. We hire Dion. Whatever, okay? Then we go out and we spend top receiver money and get T. Higgins. That would be like dream scenario. Do I want that to happen? Absolutely not. I'd rather stay at fucking 6. I'd rather stay at 6 and just try to sign a free agent quarterback again. Like, I don't even like. It's because Cam Ward's not worth trading up for. Quinn Ewers, I would not draft Quinn Ewers in the first round.
But Shador is worth trading up for?
No, I don't think he is either. No. I don't think any quarterback in this draft is worth trading up for. But I'm a Raiders fan. Dak hasn't done anything in years. Move on, even if it's not Shador. I would move on 100%. Shador and Raiders with Myers and Brovers would go crazy. You can't throw the ball to 2 tight ends every game. But I'm a Raiders fan. I watch every snap of Raiders football.
And the problem with moving on from Dak is that your team, at that point, you have to rebuild. You
so much money. That money is insane. Like, nobody's going to want to pick that up. That's like it's a horrible deal. That's a horrible contract. But so my question to now, the next question would be, so then who, if not Dion, who's the Cowboys' next head coach? Bobby, answer, Berg, and then I'll answer. You gotta give me a name, cousin.
I'm telling you, a lot of people don't agree, but I think Ben Johnson goes to Dallas. I really think he takes over.
Give Trey Lance a shot. Listen, somebody got to.
Zach Wilson. There's some names out there.
There's some names out there. Zach Wilson. I've seen Jets quarterbacks do it.
I'm saying.
Sam Darnold. There, so. He played pretty bad yesterday, but so did his offensive line. Getting sacked 10 times is not fun. But you know what I mean? Sam Darnold just got himself paid. Somebody's going to pay Sam Darnold. Fuck, the Titans might pay Sam Darnold. That's what I'm saying. The Titans might say, fuck it. We'll trade out of 1. Give me all your 1s. They might not even want a quarterback in exchange. They'll just go fucking sign Sam Darnold.
Be a good option.
You get Sam Darnold on a 2-year, $60 million deal? Cool.
All right.
Bridge quarterback.
I'm trying to hold back.
No, say what you got to say. But bro, tell me these GMs aren't stupid.
I don't. Tennessee's not going quarterback this offseason, and if they are, it's a Sam Darnold. I think you're gonna laugh at me.
Hold on, we can do it. We can just do it.
Travis is going number 1.
Okay, so all right.
Travis is going number 1 overall. It makes sense.
It does.
The jersey sales are going to be ridiculous.
Tennessee doesn't make sense to me. I'm thinking
a quarterback right now doesn't do anything for you. A quarterback right now, honestly,
what does Travis Hunter do? For
you get pieces around. So when you do get that quarterback, he has weapons, because Tennessee has their best offensive weapon is Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, maybe. Like, it is shambles. So you throw Shador, who's not going to Tennessee, but let's just say you throw Shador back there, it makes things worse. The offensive line is in shambles. There's no weapons. It's bad. You throw Cam Ward back there. Cam Ward's career starts off I don't think they go quarterback early. I think they watch what Minnesota did. They're not anywhere near what Minnesota is, but they're going to take a chance on a quarterback in free agency, cheap price. But I think Travis goes number 1. I think they go weapons. And if Travis isn't number 1, they don't pick number 1. They trade down.
That was true Sam Darnold for him. That was true Sam Darnold. Calvin Ridley is a dog. Will Levis just sucks.
I've watched Calvin Ridley lead the league in drops and then be top 3 in the league in drops. Calvin Ridley is very, very overrated. Calvin Ridley is a great route runner with terrible hands.
I can agree. I can't argue that.
Calvin Ridley last year led the league in touchdown drops as well.
He did.
Bro had more touchdown drops than he had touchdowns. So.
Bro could have doubled his touchdown.
And he's getting paid. Yeah. And he's getting paid wide receiver 1 money. So that's, yeah.
All right, Berg. Who's the Cowboys coach next year?
Shit. I feel like there's still time for my Browns to get rid of Kevin Stefanski.
Cliff Kingsbury.
So
I don't think Stefanski's the problem. You're paying a trash ass bum. Like, let's just say it, bro. Deshaun Watson stinks. That man sucks.
Dude, he really does.
That man stinks. That man sucks. So listen, the Browns are picking second though. So you're a Browns fan, right? That's okay. I did not know that. I'm glad to say that. Do you think you guys trade out a second, or are you guys taking whoever number 1 does it?
There's a lot of
because
people
if you don't take Travis, you guys got to take Travis.
There's a lot of people who think that we're going to trade out a second.
I would agree.
But I think we seriously need a QB. So
I'm going to let you know, brother. You guys ain't doing shit with a QB.
So true.
You can't pay $289 million to Mr. Deshaun Watson because you cut him. That's dead cap money. Oh my God, I can't imagine. What is the dead cap on that?
$96 million this upcoming year.
Because our only other option.
The year after that is 48, if I'm not mistaken.
Abdul Carter's like our only other option, really. Get somebody on defense at this point.
Yeah, no doubt.
Here's my next thing. So we talked about Tennessee at number 1, who I think drafts Travis Hunter.
He tore the Achilles again. He did.
Yes. Cleveland, I think, trades out. And do you know who I think they're trading with? They're trading back to number 6 so Vegas can take Shador. So Vegas can take Shador.
Bobby said what I said, just one pick down.
But
what a guy.
If Cleveland doesn't trade with Vegas, I think they draft Cam Ward at 2.
So Cam Ward would be the ideal pick if you're not trading out.
I think they either trade out with Vegas and then they still end up with Abdul Carter, who they want, the pass rusher from Penn State.
Going to drop, I think.
Yeah.
If he's not picked second, I think he's going to drop because everybody's going to go offense.
Exactly.
Offense.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be offensive line, offense. Like, I have to look at the mock order because I have mine. I just have to look at the order again.
Tennessee 1, Cleveland 2, Giants 3, Patriots 4. Yep.
So if Abdul Carter doesn't get picked at 2, he's not getting picked 3, 4.
Jacksonville 5, Vegas 6.
He might get picked Jacksonville. Jacksonville might scoop him just because, or they need offense. They don't know what the fuck they need.
That's the problem. All of these teams need offense. Like,
you gotta get coaches though. That's the thing. You gotta get coaches in there. Okay.
So I guess here's my question. As you being a Cleveland fan, bro, what do you want them to do? What is the ideal move for them this offseason for you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because Nick Chubb also needs paid. So does he get paid? You guys got to let him walk? What are we like? What's going on this offseason?
I know I feel like Myles Garrett a lot of Myles Garrett. I've been hearing stuff about Myles Garrett shaking things up too.
Because the haul you get if you move him, I think he goes for multiple firsts.
He goes for 7 first round.
But then
picks,
you're in a complete. Then you're in a complete rebuild. Then it's
Yeah.
then it's
you get rid of Myles
defensive
Garrett. You
rebuild at
gotta
that
cut
point.
Deshaun.
I feel
Yeah.
like we pay Chubb, and then I feel like we get rid of Garrett.
No, I would not pay Nick Chubb. Bro hurt 3 different things this year. I'm all right. And that's the 4th time he's been hurt. Bro hasn't played a full season, I don't think, ever.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, turf toe. Oh, my heel hurts. Ow, my butt cheek. Like, no, I'm okay. Best ability is availability. I don't give a shit how good you are. I'm
Can I
not
see
paying
the
you
last
top.
time Mans played a full season?
Or I'm not paying you top running back money.
There we go. Now it depends on what Nick Chubb wants. I also think
I'm not paying you like Derrick Henry money because Derrick Henry's about to, the Ravens are about to give that man whatever he wants. They're gonna tell him, here's a blank check, you write what you want.
About to be top paid running back in the league.
Top paid running backs who ever walked the face of the earth. And they don't give a shit how old he is because he doesn't look like he is. You know what I mean?
He might
Bro
looks
be
young.
top paid player in the whole league at that point.
I don't disagree with that actually.
I would
bro
be
might
giving
be
that man
running back
money.
not top eight. Nah.
You don't think
If it is, it's only
top eight
for
in the
it's
NFL?
only for a few months because Mr. Triple Crown this year is about to. We thought Jettis broke the bank. Mr. Triple Crown, yeah. I hope T. Higgins don't want to stay in Cincinnati. I hope he's right. I hope he already has his agent looking for houses somewhere else.
We're gonna trade the 2, and then we're gonna sign T. Higgins, bro. Listen, if we did that, that would be cool. Like Shador with T.
My only problem with that is that like, I mean, I guess I'm not against that. I'm not against that because T. Higgins still has age on his side, so he's there for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
Vegas is just so here 11.
We suck. I know.
Tennessee, New England, and Vegas. Out of all of those teams I named in the top of the draft are the teams that kind of like need pieces in multiple places. The Giants are just in shambles. I'm not even gonna count them. I think Cleveland is 1 or 2 pieces away from not being a contender, but back to at least fighting Cleveland. At least fighting for.
You're tweaking,
bro.
No,
I think this
Cleveland sucks.
This upcoming year, that defense is going to that secondary is crazy. That secondary is crazy.
Berg, listen, I love you, Berg. You know this, but you guys fucking suck. So do we.
Really do.
Because I'm a Raiders fan. Because so like everything.
But
I'm
it's
saying,
not.
Listen, I want,
it's
hold on.
It's the offense. It's the offense is the problem. It's the offense is the problem.
I know my team's probably worse. Just know that. If I say your team is trash, my team is probably asser. Let you know something because I'm a Raiders fan. We've been ass 25 years. I'm 25 years old, and I've seen us make the playoffs one time. You know what I mean? Like Bobby wants to talk about. Oh, I've never seen a Super Bowl. I don't give a shit. Neither have I. I've been in a playoff drought longer than you, Bobby. At least you're making the playoffs. You're in the divisional round.
That's fair.
How's that like?
So listen.
Hey, Berg, we don't know what that tastes like.
The AFC North is a tough division, yes. But I do think that Cleveland is only a few pieces.
Not better than Cincinnati.
Yes, that's true. And they're not better than Baltimore. So that makes it tough.
Or Pittsburgh.
But they are better than, outside of Buffalo, every team in the AFC East.
No, they're not.
Outside of the Chiefs, they're better than every team in the AFC West. Who are they not? They're not better than the Chargers? They're not better than the Raiders? Why are they not?
How are they?
The Chargers suck.
What are you? So just the fucking Browns.
I feel like the Chargers are just honestly a major slept-on team.
Justin Herbert is a listen. I love
Justin Herbert is
overrated. That guy sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm sorry, but I don't hold back. I don't hold shots. That guy fucking stinks. The bro had 4 INTs. He had 3 all season.
All right.
He picked
next quote. 2025 Cleveland finishes with a top 3 defense, and they are 1 or 2 games out of the playoffs. No matter who they have at quarterback next year, they're 1 or 2 games out of the playoffs next year.
I will say you can double quote this. They will be fucking. I think they'll be 5-12 next year.
Shit, better than this year.
Their roster is not bad. Their defense is valid.
So listen, they are at the end of the day.
They might have this
be great, but defense
they might have the best
points.
Secondary in the league.
That's cool, but your defense doesn't score you points.
But it stops other teams from scoring points. I watched Pittsburgh do it. Why can't Cleveland
when your team goes 3 and out every fucking drive because you have DTR at quarterback or you have Jameis Winston who's eating W's? I mean, like, what are we doing? Be so fucking serious with yourself.
So if you had a Sam Darnold back there or a Baker Mayfield,
you're not. No.
That we talked about that last episode. It was Baker needed a new situation, but if they have a decent quarterback, they
got okay. Here, I'll concede and I'll say this: they suck, but they could
be a fair team. Yes, they're just a few pieces away. That's all I was trying to say.
It was a little too nice.
This argument went too far. What I was trying to say is Cleveland, Jacksonville, those teams are just a few pieces away. They don't need many pieces in totality as a team like Vegas.
I don't think the Giants are that far away, bro.
The New England, and that's why I said the Giants are.
So the Giants are like, if they get a quarterback, I think Malik Neighbors is good enough, and their offense was decent enough to get a quarterback because their defense is smooth.
Yeah, for sure.
They need offense.
Right.
Ravens win the Super Bowl. I don't agree with that. I think Buffalo wins the Super Bowl.
I don't want to talk.
I think it's Josh Allen's year, bro. I think it's Josh's year. Berg, we've been shitting on the Browns a lot. I'm sorry.
I'm not shitting on the Browns. I think they're just a few pieces away.
No, Bobby, you're guilty by association. It doesn't matter.
I think they're just a few. I think Cleveland's honestly just a few pieces away. I really do.
I think
maybe not from contending, but from being close.
It would be smarter to trade out of 2 because of the trade haul you'll get.
Yes, very much.
Because you could go and you could get a quarterback like Quinn Ewers or somebody in the 2nd round, 3rd round that could be a project quarterback to sit behind Sean Watson. And then you sign somebody cheap like Joe Flacco again. And you draft some 2nd round. You're like, I don't know, bro. Like, fuck. They suck. But I want them to be good because I like Stefanski. I don't think Stefanski's the problem.
I don't either.
I don't think he's ever been the problem. I think he's just been shorted GMs that he's had have just stuck something serious.
Honestly, depending on how long Deshaun will be out for the next season, that'll be the time to really tell.
That is, yeah. So I would re-sign Jameis, to be honest. If you're drafting a quarterback, I'm re-signing Jameis because Jameis is a good. Like he is fucking like his interviews are hilarious, but he does mean well. I think.
Right.
I think he means well in everything he does.
I really
do. I think he's a leader of men. I think people actually listen when Jameis speaks.
Right.
And so that's the kind of guy you want. Like I think Sam Darnold was a great mentor for JJ McCarthy. I think like seeing, Sam Darnold got hurt. Sam Darnold got, kicked to the side and seeing how he kind of came into Minnesota and really got himself a payday because somebody's gonna pay Sam Darnold. Like it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Somebody's gonna overpay for Sam Darnold. Some desperate GM's gonna like, let me come back, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? I think Minnesota might actually, personally, if it's not somebody like,
I can see it.
You know what I mean? But so seeing that, I think mentorship's going to be the big thing for young guys this year because a lot of these young guys are just young guys. Shador's the oldest in the draft. I don't even think Quinn Ewers stays in the draft. I think he just entered his name to enter the transfer portal.
Yes, he entered into the portal, if I'm not mistaken. Or he's going to enter into the portal, if I'm not mistaken, no. I think he will.
If he does, I think he lands somewhere like Ohio State. I think he goes back to Ohio State.
I can see that.
Ohio State, maybe Oregon, maybe like USC, somewhere like that, somewhere Big Ten-ish,
Right.
Big Ten country. Just because he was Big Ten already when he was with Ohio State the first time, so it's like there's a lot of shit that's gonna happen. That I don't think we've seen the final form of everything because I think some news is gonna break today. I think some stuff's gonna happen today, actually. Excuse me.
Indeed.
That I think the Dion news will break today, whether he's staying at Colorado or he's leaving. I don't think he's gonna sit long. I don't think he's gonna sit long because Dion doesn't seem like the kind of guy that waits around. He darted out of Jackson State. Like I think. Anyways, we'll get into that in a second. So Bert, if you had your way, who would you have coach the Browns instead of Stefanski? Like if you were the GM and you fired Stefanski today, who are you hiring?
See, because there's like
you can pick anybody. Your dream candidate.
I would personally trying to think.
That's actually while we're on that.
I'm trying to think. I would probably want to. I would obviously cut out all the head coaches and immediately probably go for an offensive or defensive coordinator.
So with that being in mind, fun little game. Who you as a Raiders fan, and then I will answer as a Bills fan. Who would be your dream? Say every single head coach, every single offensive coordinator, every DC was just in the pool. Everybody's available. You can go for any coach in the league right now. Who do you go for? As crazy as it sounds, I don't even want Andy Reid either. I'm not going Andy.
I'm like no Andy Reid, nothing like that.
So if I can pick from any head coach currently, like that's current. Oh, give me Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, I like.
Give me Kevin O'Connell or give me Jim Harbaugh. I'd take Harbaugh.
Never been a fan. But
I think Harbaugh is a good coach of. I think he turned the Chargers from a nobody to. I mean, they made the playoffs. Like they got stomped on, but I don't think anybody expected them to make the playoffs first year.
I mean, they were on the game away last year, in which they sold because they're the Chargers.
They suck,
that's
right?
fair. Me, McVay. Give me McVay.
Yeah,
McVay. I like McVay. McVay is probably my favorite coach in the league. I don't think he's the best, but that's my favorite.
Another one, Eric Bieniemy.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Eric Bieniemy. I think he's going to be a strong candidate for the Raiders coaching job this year.
I'm not mad at that.
I like Eric Bieniemy. I think he deserves a shot in the NFL.
I unfortunately think, depending on what happens this weekend, Joe Brady becomes a hot name.
I think they fire Sean McDermott if they lose, and they hire Joe Brady as head coach.
I can see it.
Remember I told you that last year?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to happen.
Honestly, at that point, if the Browns head coach freed up, I would take Sean at that point.
Sean McVay?
Then McDermott.
Or Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
Ew, for what?
Be getting flatlined every year like we are.
Listen, my team sucks. We have had 4 head coaches in the last 5 years. Sean McDermott is butt.
Such a good players coach. So terrible.
Great players coach.
So
great
terrible.
Great for the culture. Great for the Bills Mafia. An ass head coach. He'd be a good coordinator. Him and Joe Brady switched, and we got him on the other side of the ball somehow. He'd be smooth.
Carolina went to the Super Bowl with him as the DC. Best defense in the league with him as a DC. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. There are certain guys that just are not head coaches. And I think like Robert Saleh, I don't think he's a head coach. I think he is a defensive coordinator. So he's going to be on, I think he's going to be on, I saw somewhere, he's going to be on somebody's staff. He might be on Mike Vrabel. I think Mike Vrabel was looking at him as a defensive coordinator.
Even at that point, I would take DeMeco Ryans.
I fucking love DeMeco Ryans too, bro.
Really
D'Amico
good
Ryan
pick.
is
Dude, I
tough.
feel like the way he turned around like Houston, he could definitely
That culture is different.
Dude, he could turn around Cleveland.
He can turn around anything. I think like
Yeah.
there's certain guys that just have that like buy-in culture.
Yeah.
And like they're just like, oh, I'm ready to buy in. And they like, you know what I mean? I think D'Amico Ryan is one of those fits. So we talked about that. So Doug Peterson got fired from the Jags.
Finally.
They kept their GM. The 49ers let go of their defensive coordinator, Nick Sorensen. The team hopes to keep him on as an assistant on the staff. Obviously, the Raiders have fired AP. The Raiders fired Tom Telesco 2 days later. So Tom Brady, here's something I want to talk about more so and kind of get some opinions on. So Raiders Limited on Tom Brady is expected to be a part of the collaborative committee to interview head coaching candidates and support team leader Mark Davis, per league sources. So, what does that do for the Raiders?
Make sure that they get an elite mind in the building, because elite mind Brady isn't going to settle for anything less. If he's giving his opinion, he's going to want the smartest of the smartest in the building. Even if it's not the most proven coach, it will be a coach with the most upside IQ.
There's been rumor that they have reached out to Bill Belichick and offered to pay out his entire contract at UNC to come be the head coach of the Raiders. I personally, as a Raiders fan, would not like that. I think we should go Ben Johnson. Brady has personally talked to Ben Johnson, apparently, and is the reason that he agreed to have an interview with the Raiders. He's expected to interview, I think, this week before the divisional round. So I would go somewhere like that. But so I guess my question to you two is: do you guys think it helps the situation, or do you think it, in some cases, could harm the situation?
That's a pretty good question. And honestly, I kind of think it's like a have to wait and see thing, because it could go either way. You know, the goal of football could have really good input, or we've seen players input and it not be the most successful when it comes to staff. So that's actually a really fair question.
Berg, what do you think about that?
I feel like it's hard to tell. We just gotta wait and see what happens.
So it's gonna be, I think one of those situations with Brady, like Bobby was saying, it's gonna be he's not gonna accept anything less than the best, because people want to shit on Bill Belichick. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But they won 6 Super Bowls together, so he knows what great is. I think that's why Mark Davis is giving him uh, the leeway that he is. And so I think personally, I think they get Ben Johnson. I think hopefully we get Ben Johnson. And I think Brady could play a big part in that. Personally,
I think Flores is the next coach. I think Flores has,
you think Brian Flores gets another shot?
yeah. And I think he is going to show you that he can be exactly what D'Amico Ryan is kind of coach. I think he was given the shit end of the stick.
Yeah,
He was in Miami and forced to lose, was in a nasty situation. Got to learn a little bit from a coach who believed in him when he went over with Tomlin. I think he's going to show that he is I
think he gets the Chicago job.
I could definitely see that one as well.
I like him in Chicago.
I could definitely see that one.
Shit, I'd like Brian Flores in Cleveland. You mean Brian Flores in Cleveland?
Also not a bad idea.
That defense would be booming with better.
Yeah.
That defense would be nuts.
Yeah.
More nuts than they already are. That's the thing. So Gerard Mayo is out as the Patriots head coach after just one season. The Patriots then turned around and hired their former linebacker Mike Vrabel.
And I think that's why Mayo's
let me put some respect on his name. Former Hall of Fame linebacker Mike
Super
Vrabel.
Bowl winning.
Bro is a Hall.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, bro's a fucking. Let me not act like, and bro's a great head coach. That was a great hire.
Indeed.
So I think Gerard Mayo that was never his job.
Agreed.
I don't. Mike Vrabel just didn't get fired early enough last year.
Exactly. Gerard Mayo
he got fired right after. Yeah, right. Yeah. Unfortunate for Mayo. I think Mayo may get a defensive coordinator spot somewhere, an assistant coach spot somewhere. I don't think he's done maybe as a head coach he's done for now, obviously, but
right.
I think Mike Vrabel was the clear cut number one answer to.
Absolutely.
Because the Patriots about to do something spooky. They're about to get active. I think
they got too many holes to fill.
They got cap space and they got a good draft pick.
You know what happened?
And you got Drake May on a cheap deal.
You know what happened last time they had cap space? They spent the most they've ever spent, and it resulted in nothing. They got Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and there's just too many holes to fill, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong. They're going to make some good moves this offseason. But they are just so far away, it makes no sense.
I think they're a wild card team next year.
I think they don't win 5 games next year.
Oh my God. You think they're worse than the Browns?
I think they are absolutely terrible.
No way.
Yes.
You think they're worse than the Browns?
They have so many holes on that team. It's scary.
Berg, chime in here as a Browns fan.
So there's a lot of teams that I'm looking at right now through the league that I personally think over the next, course of, we'll say 3 to 5 years, I feel like they could be solid playoff contender teams. I mean, the Patriots definitely aren't one of them. The one team that I am currently looking at is the Bears. I feel like the Bears give Caleb Williams enough time, and I would say 3 years they're making the playoffs.
I think they can make the playoffs next year. I think Minnesota's going to have a down year. I think Minnesota's going to switch to JJ McCarthy. I think they're going to switch to JJ McCarthy, and I don't think McCarthy's the guy. Personally,
I feel like JJ, if he starts, it's a super step up role.
Yeah, you got to be what Sam Darnold at least was.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they're not able to fill in those shoes. Sitting behind somebody, and then coming in the next season, you can go from making it to the playoffs to losing every game.
That's what I'm saying. So I think the Bears could, if they get the right coach, because they have pieces on offense.
The problem for Chicago will be Detroit and then Green Bay. So you're going to finish 3rd in the NFC North. So you're going to finish 7th at best. So you're going to get the last playoff spot at best. So you need that rest of the NFC to be on a down year. They're in a really, really tough division. And that's if Minnesota takes a huge step back. Because even though they're going to go with a new quarterback, that defense is only going to get better. So
Minnesota, to me, switching to JJ McCarthy takes the air out of the ball.
A little bit.
JJ McCarthy at one point ran the ball 62 times in a row.
Yeah, the only thing is JJ McCarthy has never had Justin Jefferson on the field with him. So it's tough. So that's what I do think we'll see early on. I do think we're going to see really early on how much the coaching staff trusts him, because they don't have an elite run game. So you can't pull the Michigan style offense and run the ball 50 times a game. You're going to have to. You have TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison,
25,
exactly minimum. Yeah. So we'll see how much
40.
Exactly. We'll see how much they trust him really early.
You got to get Jettis the ball. You got
Addison, Hawkinson,
because Addison's about to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to pay Addison if Minnesota doesn't.
Then when in doubt, isn't Daniel Jones? He's on the practice squad, right?
He is on their roster. No, he got signed to the active roster before they took the L.
Okay. So
Daniel Jones isn't. I don't think Daniel Jones is a bad backup.
I feel
He
like
could be a
honestly,
backup.
how I personally felt about Baker Mayfield, I kind of feel about Daniel Jones. New York probably wasn't the setting for him.
No, Daniel Jones sucks. No. Daniel Jones.
No, I'm
stinks.
telling you.
No.
I'm telling you.
No, Daniel Jones blows. That guy sucks. That guy stinks. He got paid. He's cool, bro. He's not doing shit. Look at Bobby's face. Go ahead, Bobby. He's talking about Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones needs to buy into the Taysom Hill role, and he'll be a good player. He needs to be Taysom Hill. He needs to block. He needs to play tight end. He needs to run the ball. He needs to not be a quarterback.
Daniel fucking Jones is going to play tight end.
Yeah. Taysom Hill did it.
Slow. He's slow as fuck.
Whoa. Hold on. When Daniel Jones tackled himself, he ran 23 miles per hour. Daniel Jones has wheels, brother.
But brother can't stay on a straight path, my brother.
Yeah, that's why you're gonna be a Taysom Hill role. You get 10 snaps a game at different positions. Be on special teams, make a tackle, buy it. You want to be a football player?
Bro wants a $40 million a year quarterback to play fucking special teams.
Yes, I do. If you want to stay as an NFL player, yes. I think that's his
bro said dog just came off one of the biggest contracts in NFL history, and Bobby said go play fucking special teams. You practice squad fuck.
It's either that or hang the cleats up. No.
Somebody's gonna pay Daniel Jones to be a backup. No doubt.
To be a backup, yeah. Okay.
Like the Chiefs will sign him to be Patrick Mahomes' backup. They signed Carson Wentz, brother. Like, be so serious here.
No, Carson Wentz actually had upside though at some point.
Carson Wentz blows.
Now,
current day Carson Wentz, I would take Daniel Jones.
Well, Carson Wentz is 40, so that's a tough comparison. I'm taking Carson Wentz. I'm taking Carson Wentz over Daniel Jones right now.
You're lying.
Yes, I am.
No, you are not.
Yes, I am. I am taking Carson Wentz over Daniel Jones right now.
For what reason?
More
You see what happened when Carson Wentz got in the game? 43-0 to the Broncos.
Hey.
No, hey, nothing.
Right.
Daniel Jones is sitting.
You see what happens to the Giants organization when Daniel Jones is the quarterback?
The same thing that happened when he's not the quarterback. They stink. Giants always stunk.
But Tommy DeVito looked cool, bro.
I fuck with Tommy, bro. Tommy's cool, guy. He's got swag, that's for sure. Bro's got the New York swag.
Yeah, and he's from there. He's from East Rutherford.
Yeah, he's been like, bro's got mafia ties, swear. But yeah. So the Jets have completed an interview with Coach Rex Ryan for their head coaching position. The Jets have their interview list as follows. So Mike Vrabel, they interviewed. Obviously, he's not going to get it. They interviewed Ron Rivera, Rex Ryan, Brian Flores, Josh McCown, Joe Brady, Matt Nagy, Arthur Smith, Brian Greasy, Aaron Glenn, Vince Joseph. I don't know how to say this guy's last name, so I'm not going to say it. Yeah, Josh McCown being interviewed for head coaching jobs is fucking crazy.
Actually.
You guys remember when Josh McCown signed a deal with the Jets to play backup quarterback from his house?
Yep.
Bro got paid to play remote quarterback.
Crazy time.
What a fucking time to be alive.
Crazy time.
Buddy. So out of those names that I just put in front of you, who do we see coaching the Jets?
Arthur Smith.
Yeah. It makes me laugh to hear Arthur Smith's name on that list.
You're laughing at Arthur Smith.
And I'm picking Arthur Smith to be the coach of that joke of an organization, yes.
I think Rex Ryan gets the job. They run it back and it goes horrible. Aaron Rodgers retires mid-season.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see Rex Ryan 2.0.
I'd love to see Ron Rivera get a shot. Give my boy Ron a shot.
Yeah.
He could do something.
Another defensive-minded coach, have the defense stay lead.
Matt Nagy, no.
Vince Joseph would probably be the second one.
Give Josh McCown a shot, bro. See what he's about.
He ain't got much to lose.
You got nothing to lose.
All right.
You got Vontae under contract. You got Aaron Rodgers under contract. You ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Or if there's not a name on this list that you would see go to the Jets, who would it be? Ben Johnson tapping in with the Jets?
No.
No chance.
Only way Ben Johnson leaves is ideal situation. And as bad as Dallas is, I do think Dallas is ideal situation for Ben Johnson. The name I just think Arthur Smith. That's who I think the Jets hire.
You're stuck on that name.
Yeah. And I don't like him
how
at
do you feel
all.
about the Jets?
I don't like him at all as a coach. I just
D is the answer. Yeah. Berg, what's the Jets coach situation?
I feel like if it's anybody that's not on that list, I feel like they need a strong-minded person. Somebody who's gonna bring that. They need somebody to bring that team up. It's like it's the Jets. What else can I say?
So who would that be for you? Because I think everybody's on the board realistically, except for like head coaches.
Yeah.
I don't think head coaches are gonna go job to job. Most aren't.
Honestly, I would say fuck it, give Josh McCown a shot.
McCarthy. I could see him trying McCarthy.
McCarthy would make. I forgot about McCarthy. McCarthy would make sense just because the Aaron Rodgers tie.
That's I'm saying. Kellen Moore. I could see him taking a shot on.
Mutual connection.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore, I don't think, man. I think Kellen Moore is still a year or two away.
I agree, but they're going to. I think the Jets slowly realize that they're going to go into like a rebuild phase, and they do that with coach as well. Cliff Kingsbury's going to get another shot somewhere. Maybe
he might get a Bears job too.
Yeah, somewhere that needs an offensive-minded coach, somewhere that has that. Chicago actually makes sense. The young talent on offense, the weapons.
Jets have a backup QB right now. It's behind Aaron.
Who is their backup?
Because that's what I'm thinking. I honestly, you gotta build around that.
Aaron? Yeah,
because like he's getting old, you know. Had his injury.
I will say one thing: the Jets pick out 7. So if Cam Ward falls, which would be a fall.
Cam's not falling.
But they jump on.
Oh, they have Jordan. They got Jordan Travis.
That is from Florida State.
I liked Jordan Travis in college.
In college, yeah.
I think he.
I don't think he's an NFL
I think he could be. I think he's Jordan Love. I think they're the same guy.
No, you're shitting on my boy J Love.
No, I'm not. I'm not shitting on. I love Jordan.
You know who Jordan Travis is? Trey Lance.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Trey Lance obviously sucks some serious.
And Jordan Love is elite something serious.
Jordan Love is not. Don't throw that word around.
Jordan Love is elite, brother.
He's not elite.
He's elite, man.
He is not elite yet. I will not give him elite.
He's borderline. He's super borderline. Then he is like super borderline.
There's
not many quarterbacks better than him right now.
Playoff success matters though, and he's getting dubbed every time he's in the big game. So it's like, how many times?
You mean kind of like Josh Allen does, kind of like Lamar Jackson did? It's
tough. Josh Allen's leading the league in fucking everything.
Josh Allen is, that's a team thing. But like,
Lamar has more rushing touchdowns than running backs.
Lamar Jackson, like it's tough. I do see your point why he does need playoff success, but again,
he needs something.
He's also Romeo Doubs is his number one target. Like,
Christian Watkins tore his ACL. That's in the pod.
Really tough. Yeah,
Like that's a tough injury for him. He was having a good year.
And he's young. Man.
Their tight end's pretty good. I like Kraft.
Yeah,
I like their tight end
for sure.
He's young. He's a young tight end. But no, you're tweaking. I'm 100%. I'm okay on Jordan Love. I think Jordan Travis would be the same kind of guy.
I don't see it.
Jordan Love, Jordan Travis, same name.
Funny.
So the Seahawks let go of their offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. I don't think he was the problem, but
I don't
They'll
think
let
he
him
was
go.
either.
I think he'll get another job somewhere.
Yes.
So speaking of the Seahawks, the Bears plan to interview former Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll for their head coaching job. The Bears have also requested a head coach interview with Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady.
Excuse me.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs left. How would we rank these 6 jobs? 1 to 6. You have the Bears, Jaguars, Jets, Cowboys, Raiders, Saints. Bobby, we'll go with you. Barry, we'll go with you, and I'll finish it off.
I'll go first. I'm gonna go kind of out of order here, but for me,
go worst to best.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with worst, and I easily think the worst one has to be Dallas because it is absolutely Super Bowl or bust in Dallas. As so much talk going on, players not getting paid, players getting paid. Dak Prescott making 70 plus million. There's so much drama in Dallas, and it's win or bust. So Dallas is just, that does not feel like the ideal situation for anybody, if you want my honest opinion, because you're also always going to be the scapegoat. It will never be the owner. It'll never be the general manager. It will forever be whoever is coaching the Cowboys.
So that's 6 for you.
Yeah, that's the worst job you could take for me.
All right, so what's 5?
5 would then be the Jets, because that's another situation where it's like you have Aaron Rodgers. We just watched how Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame, top 5, arguably quarterback of all time, looked this year. Devontae Adams getting a super back end of his career. It's just, that situation is so tough, so rough. You're in the AFC. You're in the AFC East, so you're gonna have to beat the Bills to be the best team in the division. It's just, exactly. There's a lot of liability. Whoever goes in there is going to have to pretty much flip a franchise around completely, which,
and be spectacular.
Yeah, isn't going to be easy. And we're watching the Jets not give coaches much time at all. They're ready to move on from coaches, ready to move on quarterback to quarterback. It's not ideal at all.
All right, so that was 5 for you. What's 4?
4 would be Vegas, only because the situation, so many holes. I debated Vegas or New Orleans, which situation was a little worse. It had to be Vegas because you have no quarterback. You got one of the best players. You have one of the best players in football with pretty much nothing else on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
You got Christian Wilkins coming from injury. Like, it's so much what ifs over there. So much what ifs, and that's the unfortunate problem. Which means before that, Saints, I think are kind of in a rough spot because that's a team that could be.
Are you going Spencer Rattler or are you going Derek Carr?
I am personally going Rattler, only because I don't think Carr wins us a Super Bowl. And if you're not a championship team, I don't know how much that does for you. I do think that starting Derek Carr shouldn't be out the question because you don't want to lose. You want to be competitive. You still have pieces in play to be competitive, and that's what I was going to say next. Is that's what's tough about the Saints, is they could either be a playoff team or they could be a 5-win team. Like, it can go either way. So it's tough. Me personally, I'm going with 8. So I'm starting Rattler. I want to see what I got. Young receiver, Olave. I want to see what I got. So yeah.
I can see that. So who's 2?
2 is Jacksonville, which is honestly not a bad situation at all. The biggest problem in Jacksonville is you got Trevor Lawrence, who's what if. Are you a superstar quarterback? Are you an average quarterback? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Trevor Lawrence is the Justin Herbert of.
Right. That's, perfect comparison. Are you, because you, at times you look like you could be the best player in the world. And then at other times you look like you don't know how to read a football field whatsoever. So you got weapons around. You got a good defense that's not old, that's young. You got a top 5 pick. Jacksonville isn't a terrible situation. It kind of just depends on Trevor Lawrence. And that's why I think that's another team that needs to go and get an elite offensive mind. You need someone who can bring the best out of T-Law. Because if you bring the best out of him, you're a team that could fight coming out of the AFC. So,
Yeah.
and then
So you think
Chicago.
the Bears is the best job?
Best situation. Not as much pressure as Jacksonville, Cowboys, because the Bears could be a playoff team this year. They do have the roster. If Caleb can put it together, they can be a playoff team. But if they're not, nobody's screaming at you if you don't win your division, if you don't go to playoffs. You have a young quarterback, you have a young roster, like you're still up and coming. So I think Chicago is the best situation because it's the least pressure. You could be a great team, but if you're not a great team, it's not all is over with as opposed to Jacksonville. I think whoever comes in, they're expected to be a playoff team immediately. They've already rebuilt. They've already found their quarterback, their running back. They've already drafted Trayvon Walker, number 1 overall. So they're expected to be competitive like right now.
Yeah, right now. Okay, word. All right, Berksy. So who do you have sitting at 6?
So I'm definitely thinking. So I'm gonna start from best to worst. So definitely my number 1, I got the Bears. I feel like going off of what Bob said, obviously the Bears, they could be playoff contenders. I really think they can. I have a lot of hope for the Bears. That's the same way I had, no hate that Bob's a Bills fan. I had the same hope for the Lions too. I really did. Next, I'm probably gonna say the Jaguars. The Jaguars, they have a lot of talent on their team. I feel like it's just, how do you utilize them? I mean, after, the Trevor Lawrence concussion and stuff, look back to, the Tua concussions. Is Trevor Lawrence going to be the same? Once you get a concussion, I mean, I've had 2 of them, kind of, alters how you can actually play. Then I'm probably going to say, this is a toss-up. I'm probably going to say the Saints at number 3. Obviously, same thing. I feel like the Saints, I give the Saints a couple years too. I feel like they don't have a lot of issues with them. Then I'll probably go the Raiders. Haven't really dug into much of the Raiders. I feel like there's a lot that they personally need to work on. Who do the Raiders have at QB right now?
Throw a dartboard. Throw a dart at a board.
They have you at quarterback right now, Bert.
Yeah.
If you want it,
left-handed.
Yeah, I know.
They have
like
me
the
left-handed.
the Raiders are going through a lot, from the GM
We
to
suck.
kind of like the whole empire just crumbling down right now.
Yeah, life's not very shaken out in Vegas, buddy. Let me tell you, that stadium ain't paying for itself.
Yeah, dude, I've drove past that stadium. It's just, it's crazy. Then I'm probably gonna go with the Jets.
Yeah, Jets at 5.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of trouble in that organization. They need to work on, whether it's a head coach or a QB situation
over there.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers is not young Aaron Rodgers anymore. After you tore his Achilles, there's a lot that you have to look out for. I feel like he's not playing up to his his same potential. How old is he now?
58 years old.
Yeah, he's
he's also
pretty
going
much
out of the country to sit in the dark.
Yeah, he's an old man.
He could just sit in the
this
dark at his
point.
house, but bro chooses to go.
He's probably he's getting up into that age that Jake Paul would want to box him probably. And then finally, I'm probably going the last one, definitely the Cowboys. The Cowboys organization.
Yeah, the boys suck.
Dude, that whole, like, the Cowboys empire is just, they're not, like, I don't even know. Like, I feel, ashamed saying I'm a Browns fan sometimes, but when people, I don't even know.
When
like,
they say they're Cowboys fans, it just makes me, everything's okay. I'm okay here.
It's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Like,
It could always be worse, right? You could always be a Cowboys fan.
At that point, Jerry Jones is probably thinking, "No, we don't even need a head coach. I got this."
Bro's just doing fucking local radio spots.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't think the Cowboys are in trouble at all. I think we're doing pretty damn
Bro's
good.
about to walk
Yeah,
in his
dude, he's
Subway,
called-
order a sub, talk football with the cashier, and be like, hey, you want to come coach the team? You seem like you know what you're doing.
I'll
Yeah.
give you fucking $500,000 a year.
Timmy
Yeah,
from
like,
Subway in Dallas.
Jerry
is gonna be the
Jones is
next
literally going to be the
coach.
interim head coach for the next season.
Bro says his hands doesn't cramp writing checks, but he writes checks to the wrong people. I mean, so we're being real here. No, that's a good list. I like that. So I'm gonna go I'm gonna go worst to best. Cowboys are the worst. No clear. That's clear as fucking day. They're 6. I think paying Dak Prescott $77 billion a year just doesn't fit my fancy. I'm okay off it. I think honest to God, I think the Saints might have the worst, 5th worst job situation. You're paying Derek Carr. You don't know who you're going to do at quarterback. Your defense is getting older. You're just not. Yeah, you're not.
Do you think their situations is worse than the Jets? I could see you why you're saying that, but
yeah, because I think Aaron Rodgers kind of started playing better towards the end of the year. That the Jets is next for me. The Jets are 4th. The Jets have Devontae. You know, they started connecting towards the end of the year. They still got Garrett Wilson under contract. They'll pay him. Their defense isn't too bad. So, like, if you get a good offensive mind, they could be a 7 seed in the AFC, I think. I think I think Jaguars is probably 3rd for me. No, Raiders are definitely 3rd. I think if you get the reason I say that is because I think the Browns are so willing to trade out of the 2nd that I think as a head coach, you're getting the 2nd pick in the draft. Essentially, I think you're getting a top pick. I don't think the Raiders are going to stay at 6. So I think that's being delayed or that's being told to every quarterback or every head coach that's coming in for an interview that, like, we are going to have a higher draft pick, you know? So hopefully that's what's being said to them. I think the Jaguars are 2nd because, like Bobby said, T-Law, if you unlock him, you could do, again, you could be buying for a wild card spot.
right.
And then the Bears are number 1 just because simple fact that I like Caleb Williams. I think Rome Odunze is a good wide receiver. DJ Moore is solid. They got a good core of guys.
Yeah.
So I think they're definitely the top spot for any young coach, I think, this year. Yeah. Head coaches are going to be moving soon. It's going to be a lot of news coming out. I'm surprised there isn't any breaking currently.
Right.
So some big news for the Lions. David Montgomery is expected to be ready for the divisional round per head coach Dan Campbell.
I feel like that's huge.
That is huge news
That's I feel like a lot of teams in their path right now are kind of like shaking.
No, I agree 100%. I think the Lions win the NFC if he's back. Yes. Healthy, at least. Yes. I'll say back healthy. If he's not 100%, I wouldn't risk bringing him back. But if he's 100% ready to roll, I think
if it's a rush to get him back just to have him for, like, you know.
They're saying Aiden Hutchins might be ready for the Super Bowl if they make it.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
I feel like with the injury he went through, I feel like that's like.
That would be nuts. Brother makes it back for the Super Bowl, they'd win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude, if they would have had
dead ass.
Yeah, their starting roster at like this time in the playoffs, I'm telling you,
they're the best team in the NFC. Because they're gonna smack the Commanders. I think that's. I guess we could just go ahead and go ahead and.
I'd go as far as saying, obviously, Kansas City has the accolades to show they're the best team in the league. But on paper, Detroit is put together the best in the league right now from head to toe. They are put together the best.
Say that again. Who is?
Detroit.
Yeah.
Like just player, just player overall. Like
it's them or the Eagles.
They don't slack many positions. They don't have weak spots.
The Eagles. I think the Eagles beat the Rams, and I think the Lions beat the. We can go ahead and just pick the games. I think the Lions beat the Commanders. I think the Eagles beat the bums, the Rams. I think they're doing it for LA. Shit doesn't last for so long.
I think McVay beats Philly.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because he is going to show who he is. It's about to be McVay. It's not going to be the Rams.
That made my stomach.
It's not going to be the Rams beating the Eagles. It's going to be McVay beating the Eagles.
You think McVay out coaches Sirianni?
Yep.
You think Sirianni gets fired?
I will say one thing. Many people don't like Sirianni. I wouldn't be mad at McDermott out, Sirianni in for a year or two. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be... Take a shot on it. But I think Sirianni's on the hot seat, unfortunately. Why? I don't know.
I mean, for what, though? Like, what is he on the hot seat for?
Super Bowl or bust, unfortunately.
Bro's been to one, though.
Super Bowl or
if McDermott's not on the hot seat, neither is fucking...
Yeah, McDermott. We know McDermott should have been, though. Buffalo has problems.
Should have been or is or two different things.
I don't know if he is, unfortunately. I wish he was, but I don't know if he is.
Sirianni's making it to the fucking Super Bowl at least. Right. McDermott ain't made it to the second round.
You telling a Bills fan.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't. That's a weird one, man. That's a weird situation. Berg, who you got winning games?
Lions versus Commanders, Rams versus Eagles.
I feel like the Eagles hype is kind of gonna go down.
Oh, you guys are both. I hate you both. I want Saquon to succeed.
I love Saquon.
That's it. That's the only reason, bro.
I don't like Jalen Hurts.
See, I am a big Saquon fan. Just bleeding blue in my household.
You say he's a jerk?
He's dirt.
Oh, he's being a jerk. Bro's an Instagram quote monster, dog.
Yeah, I believe it.
Listen, bro, where do you think I got the quote? I had a purpose before they had an opinion. I got that bitch from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't know. I don't follow him.
I got it from he said it in an interview.
That's funny.
Shout out to Jalen Hurts, man. I think the Eagles are very good. Hurts is mid though, not bad. Duffy. I don't think he's mid.
Then definitely I got Lions just wiping the floor.
Yeah, they fucking train wrecked the Commanders. The Commanders are nice though. Jaden Daniels is hot.
I do like Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is that boy.
That's the worst decision the Bears ever made.
And it's so tough because like
Jaden Daniels is tough, bro.
I think he's damn rookie year. I wouldn't have told you Jaden Daniels was going to be this. No shot.
I think it's their coach more than anything.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think their coach is fucking crazy. To be completely fair, their coach is nuts. I think that's a culture thing more than a quarterback thing. I think it's right quarterback, right culture.
Right. It fit, nice. Right.
So, all right, then let's go AFC. Go ahead and pick AFC game. You have... Let me make sure you these right. So you got the Ravens versus the Bills, and you got the Texans versus the Chiefs. Bobby, start with you. Berg, go you. I'll go last.
Bills in my home. Bills and Chiefs. That's what we'll see in the AFC chip. We'll see the Bills and the Chiefs. We running that back. We running that back. We're not losing to Baltimore again. The Bills are not losing to Baltimore again. It's not happening. Terrell Bernard, Matt Milano, Taron Johnson all missed the last game. Nah. They missed last game against Baltimore. They're here. Terry Johnson knows all too well about Lamar. They're here. We are not losing to Baltimore again.
Okay, it's up. So all right. So you're calling a Josh Allen, Mahomes run back?
Yep.
I like that. Berkey.
I feel like Bills Ravens. I feel like that's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a good game. I definitely have.
In Buffalo matters.
Listen, I have Josh Allen going on a vengeance tour. This is a Josh Allen vengeance tour.
400 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Even though you're going up against probably one of the best QBs of our time. I mean, I'm not saying Josh Allen isn't, but Lamar Jackson is, he can do everything. I mean, so can
Lamar Jackson's elite.
Yeah, if he goes up against, and then you get into the AFC Championship, if you go up against, Pat Mahomes. Pat literally does everything. Pat can have, 2 ankles broken, both kneecaps, and come back and throw for 400 yards. Yeah, dude.
Travis down there somewhere.
Yeah, dude. I said to my buddy, I said, after Pat gets out of the league, I said, do some testing. I said, he's not human at this point. I said he's not.
No, Patrick Mahomes is a completely different individual.
Dude, his genetics, he heals just so quickly. Like he's literally Wolverine at this point.
We've never seen.
Yeah. But I'm definitely taking the Bills against the Ravens. And then I want to see the Texans over the Chiefs. 100%. I want to see that.
So, not to shit on your want to, but that's not going to happen.
Unfortunately.
I know. Yeah,
the Chiefs are going to beat the fucking Texans by 30.
Yeah, obviously.
Fucking Patrick Mahomes might not play the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They're going to, it's just unfortunate for the Texans, but I think they get mollywopped. Unless Patrick Mahomes fucking just gets, God forbid, but gets hurt or something and can't play, and Carson Wentz has to come in and be Bobby's favorite quarterback.
MVP front runner.
Who?
Carson Wentz, man.
MVP front runner in the fucking XFL, maybe, yeah.
like 9 years ago.
Yeah, bro was the best quarterback in the league 62 years ago.
But obviously
66 years ago when Nick Foles won him the Super Bowl.
Yeah, obviously Mahomes is gonna win that over Stroud.
No, that's yeah. I think I agree with Bobby. I think it's gonna be Allen. It's gonna be Allen Mahomes AFC Championship. Then I think Josh Allen gets his time. I got Bills winning the Super Bowl. Fuck it, I'll make my prediction now. I got Bills winning the Super Bowl.
Kansas City over Detroit in the Super Bowl, unfortunately.
No, man. It's gonna be It's gonna be the Bills. It's gonna be two of the best fan bases, Detroit and New York Buff, going for the bowl. And I think Josh Allen Heisman steps over.
I will say I do think Josh Allen this year has been the best player in the league. No biasness. I think he's been the best.
MVP Super Bowl year for Josh Allen.
Yeah, definitely MVP.
Crazy.
So this is completely off topic, but we're talking about football. We're on the AFC side of the things. I think that the 5 best quarterbacks in the league right now are all in the AFC. Mahomes, Josh, Lamar, Burrow, Stroud. 5 best quarterbacks. I
agree with that, but I have to pee.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you guys carry on conversation back.
Okay.
I feel like Joe Burrow, he's kind of a slept on quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super. Cincinnati struggled a bit this year, and it because if Cincinnati's a playoff team, he's probably an MVP argument. His numbers are really good this year. So, definitely curious. Ravens-Bills game is in Buffalo, which I think will be...
I wish Buffalo was closer. I would definitely go to that.
I think it'll play an important role. Tickets are started at $600 for the game. So, yeah. Fancy. It'll be sold out. We're supposed to have a bunch of snow. It'll be interesting.
I'm ready. I'm ready for their new stadium to be built.
For sure.
Get them nice heated seats, melt
Yeah.
that snow right off.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, dude, why don't they just build a dome?
They like the natural snow effect.
Yeah,
Like, that's our home field advantage.
It's the Buffalo atmosphere.
Exactly.
Because you get a team, from like down south or something.
Like the
that comes
Miami
up here.
Dolphins, who absolutely just fall apart every time they come to Buffalo in the winter.
But then you send the Bills down there, they'll start cramping up the heat.
You seen what happened that game? Injury after injury. So
Diggs was cramping up.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody.
Micah Hyde, Poyer.
Y'all ain't never peed in avocado soup though, cuz. I can't hear you guys. Hold on. Y'all ain't never pissed in avocado soup though, cuz.
That's
You know what I mean? I don't know what that life like. Y'all don't know what this life like, cuz. I mean, y'all don't know the grind that it takes. And I went and got me some crackers because I'm a chubby kid.
I can't say I've ever had an avocado sweater. A little jealous.
Nah, it's not. Hold on, it's not a sweater, guys.
It's the snuggie
full
thing, right?
onesie?
Yeah.
No.
Look at shit twisted. You know what I mean?
That's like a snuggie.
Got pockets on the front.
Yeah.
Bro, it's got pockets to hold the avocados in.
Literally.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Nah, that holds the joints when I walk outside. You know what I mean? Nah. Anyways, I don't know where you guys were at, but
we're talking about home field advantage. Nothing crazy.
Home field advantage is a thing, and nobody wins in Arrowhead, but I think Josh Allen does. Because who would have the top? It would be
Kansas City.
The Chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though we beat them in the regular season, but yeah.
Yo, y'all fuck with body armor? Random question.
It's not bad. I haven't had it in a while.
They don't pay us, but little cherry lime body armor is nice.
Wouldn't know about that life, man.
They're $1.25 in my local supermarket.
Oh, that ain't bad.
You got me a little drink. You know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah. So that's the NFL playoffs. That's what we have left. I think we're done with football. What else I really give a fuck to talk about? Jamar won the Triple Crown. We gotta talk about that. Mr. Triple Crown himself.
Best receiver in the league.
Yeah. Jefferson. All right. So we're gonna talk basketball before we talk a couple extra other things. Because there's some hate motherfuckers out here right now. And so Brandon Jennings said a few days ago about Jason Tatum that he is the softest Celtic superstar ever. Tatum's trainer Drew Hanlon took issue with these comments. I like Brandon Jennings as a player, but we gotta stop the cap. His comments that Tatum is soft, is pathetic. A soft player couldn't lead their team in points, rebounds, assists to a title. A soft player couldn't have 51 in Game 7 or 31, 11, and 18 to win the final. Brandon Jennings responds, since you're his trainer, make sure that he gets MVP this year. I heard you wrote a book called Stop the Bullshit. I'm gonna write part 2 if he doesn't get it. So here's to say Brandon Jennings thinks he's better than he was.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Jennings thinks he's better than he is. He said he's the greatest Oak Hill player ever. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to fuck say. He said he's the greatest Oak Hill guard ever. Let me correct my statement. He's neither one of those things. Brandon Jennings is a hating ass old head that just thinks he's better than he was. He wasn't that great in the league. He got some bump, got paid, was there in Detroit for 2 years, got kicked out because he's trash. That's my hot take on it. I hate old heads that just can't let go.
The part that got me the most was the make sure you get MVP this year. That showed me
As
that
bro didn't just run fucking the tables last year to show championship.
that showed me that was kind of, you were like digging super deep to find, yo, what can I use against him? What? Oh shit, he doesn't have an MVP. That's almost the only thing. Because fun fact, let's pull out the notes. Not only is that 51 points in Game 7 the most ever in a Game 7, Jason Tatum has just done like countless things. First team All NBA 3 times. He's never missed the playoffs. Out of 7 years of going to the playoffs, he's been to the Eastern Conference Finals 5 of those times. So it's like, what?
Finals, 3 of them. Like, bro, like, that's not.
First team All NBA. First team All
dog.
NBA back to back to back. 2023 led the NBA in points scored. 2022 had the best plus minus in the NBA.
Yes.
Third leading scorer in the playoffs before the age of like 28 or 30, behind only Bron and Kobe. So it's like, maybe not a fan favorite because he doesn't have the killer mentality, quote unquote, that a lot of people like seeing, but it doesn't. Bro's almost running the table in the East, period. Bro's almost repeating what Bron did in the East. Is he winning finals every year? No, but he's coming out of the East pretty much every year. And the year he did it, we watched that Milwaukee team that they lost to win a ring. I just...
Yeah, it's foolish.
Accolades are there. The accolades are... Bro is already probably the best Celtic in history. You maybe make the argument for Larry Bird. Brendan Jennings wants to say, I had never seen Paul Pierce. Jason Tatum right now is a better Celtic all time than Paul Pierce is.
They've done the same for the team.
Right.
They've done the same for the organization. Paul Pierce had 1 championship.
With a much better roster.
Yeah. Berg, how do you feel about old heads and this bullshittery that we got going? Because Deshaun Jackson did the same bullshit, by the way, and I've already had this conversation. I've already stuck my fist in Deshaun Jackson's ass. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that. Like, it's just buffoonery. It's bullshit. It's stupid. It's for the clicks. I get it, but shut up. Shut the fuck up. You're not. Shut up.
I feel like
Anyways,
Berg,
how do you feel about this?
I feel like the old heads, they had their time, but I think Jason Tatum can obviously, win MVP, but I'll tell you this much: he's not winning the finals this year. 100% not winning the finals.
Bergsy's making all right.
Dude, my
JT's going back to back.
No, my Cavs.
That boy going back to back.
Oh my God, the Cavs! Listen,
my Cavs are doing something.
4-0 when they meet in the playoffs.
4-0 in the fuck.
Swept.
Yeah, they're 4-0 and they're getting.
And I like Cleveland.
Jason Tatum.
They're just not ready.
Jason Tatum's doing whatever he wants to the Cavs.
Not ready for Boston yet. I do like Cleveland though. I am a fan of Cleveland. I think Donovan Mitchell is disrespected way too much.
Dude, I love Evan Mobley. I love the way he plays.
I think Drew Holiday is the difference maker in that series because Drew Holiday clamps Donovan Mitchell. Personally, yeah, I think that's the difference maker. I also think the Knicks are better than the Cavs in the playoffs. I think Cat gives those big guys fucking fits. What you making that face for, Bobby?
I have to see. Evan Mobley's really young.
Disagree with me, but I eat my crackers.
I think Evan Mobley gives Cat something he's never seen before. Like, obviously he's seen it, but I like that was a bad expression. I think it's the opposite. I think Evan Mobley gives Cat hell. I don't think Cat. He's going to score the ball. That's what he. I think Evan Mobley gives Cat hell. He has length and athleticism from a big that is a bit scary. He's just really young. He's really, really young and raw right now. I like Evan Mobley a lot though. I also think
he's raw.
I also think Cleveland's a better team than New York.
No. You said 2 Huns in that same sentence. I couldn't let you slide for both of them.
No pause on either of them.
All right. This guy fucking guy. All right. So, Berg,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. You're a Cleveland fan?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you trade Max Strus?
No.
It's a very respectable answer. I can respect the fuck out of that. But I would.
I think it depends what the value is, but yes,
getting?
I probably will.
Cam Johnson.
Yes.
Cam Johnson's the value.
Yes. You're sending Strus and probably a pick for Cam Johnson?
You're sending Strus, a first, and a second to Brooklyn right now to get Cam Johnson, and you're automatically a championship contender team. Cam Johnson is a better three-point shooter, and he also plays better defense.
Indeed.
But the Nets are wanting way too fucking much for Cam Johnson. They're wanting the earth and the moon for that guy.
That's because, as funny as it is, he's kind of like one of the hottest.
You gave up fucking Mikal Bridges to the Knicks for nothing.
Yeah, but that's because that was kind of a wanted out kind of thing. Like, you were not, maybe it wasn't public, but I feel like their hands were forced with him, if that makes sense.
Cam Johnson's hand. I don't think Cam Johnson wants to sit and rot in Brooklyn.
He doesn't, but he's getting a bag. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, I think he wants out.
I want out.
Yeah. He's a bucket. Cam is such a bucket.
That motherfucker ain't never seen a shot he don't like. Him and Michael Porter Jr. one of the fucking same for me.
Yeah.
Them dudes ain't never seen a jump shot they don't like.
That's facts.
Them boys shoot everything.
Their pass button broke. It got stuck.
Their X button is stuck. Stuck, taken out, shorted, cut with a knife. They don't have a single fucking... Michael Porter Jr. is the next one. He's that motherfucker. They ain't... Listen. So I'm going to talk about something. I've been going back to the gym these last few days to hoop. Me and the old lady got a membership at the gym, right? So I've been going back to the gym, and I've been seeing these young cats, and me and my nephew play some hoop. And look, I had to tell one of these young cats, bro. I was like, listen, I will cook you. And any time you want to get active, I got sweatpants on, cuz. Like, I got sweats on with Kobe 10 Christmas days. You think I'm really out here fucking around? No, I'm not out here for fucking around. Like, I will cook you in like any situation you want to go about. Bro was like, all right, old head. I was like, all right. Bro called me old. I got called old yesterday.
You got it.
I called an old head yesterday.
You got it.
Listen, for anybody wondering, I'm 25 years old.
That is not an old head, by the way.
Listen, on the 26th of this month, I'll be 26 years. Or on the 29th of this month, I'll be 26 years old. Great. 26 years old, that's not a bad age, right? I gave these dudes the fucking blues. These dudes were in high school. I gave these dudes fucking problems. Listen, I'm also 255. I'm not a small dude. You know what I mean? I was putting this little fucking high school kid in the post. You're not, you know what I mean? Don't talk that shit.
Facts.
I'm tired of the young generation. I'm tired of these fucking kids. You guys aren't better than the old heads in basketball in that aspect. I will say that. If I'm an old head, you're getting checked. You're getting a bucket in the fucking dome every time.
Facts.
You may score. You may give me 30, but I'm giving you 50. Promise.
And you're going home way more sore than I am.
Yeah, you're going home way more sad than I am. Facts. I'm going to go home and do a podcast and talk about it.
You're going to need to ice out.
I'm going to Draymond Green that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come home and grab my microphone like, all right, you know, we had a tough day at LA Fitness today. You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck. Stop talking to me. Anyways, back to real basketball. So who are we picking to win NBA Finals? Relatively speaking,
Boston.
You have
Boston's winning again.
Team. You are 100% sold they're running it back.
Yes, I think they're running it back. My only thing I think changes, I think it almost plays out the exact same. I just think Minnesota beats Dallas this year, and Boston beats Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me finish my cracker. Let me not have dry ass mouth when I ask you this question. What marijuana did you smoke this morning, young man?
I smoked that Anthony
What's the name of
Edwards 38 points per game prediction.
I don't give a fuck what Anthony Edwards does. You're saying the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to the finals?
Yes.
Oh, hold the fuck. Give me a second. Oh, that's not something I thought I was going to hear you say. My head hurt. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta. Hey, Burks. Go ahead and give you who you think's gonna win. I gotta look at something.
I could definitely see Dallas going.
That's another crazy one.
Dallas is like a scary team.
Bobby, Minnesota's 8th in the fucking West. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Bobby, Minnesota is 21-18.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're beating Oklahoma City?
I think in a 7-game series, OKC wins 1 game. I think Houston is too young. They look really hot. They're really good. They got a nice young core. I love to see what they're doing. They're too young. Who else? Denver, Jokic, obviously going to be a contender. We watched what Minnesota did to them last year. Granted, Minnesota isn't the same team. Minnesota lost Cat, but Anthony Edwards is a better player this year than he was last year, I think. I think Dallas in Minnesota is the Western Conference Finals.
No, you're trolling. You're not serious.
Clippers smoked. Who else? LA smoked.
No,
Kings smoked. Golden State, San Antonio, Phoenix smoked. I think Denver, and the Mavs are the only teams that can beat Minnesota.
Hold on about it. We don't bring people in the
Dallas
Discord
and the Mavs
to just randomly talk. We do this normally duos, but we brought in somebody we know personally, so we don't bring people on to just randomly talk. I do appreciate your enthusiasm about joining. Hello to you as well. So I do appreciate that enthusiasm. But we don't bring people in. No, yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate your ball knowledge. If you do follow us on X, we have put out wanting to bring people in before. But it's more of a planned thing. I like to have a planned out thing with each guest that we're bringing on.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of just for a technical standpoint. So you follow us on X at the Full Season Podcast. Nah. I'm good on checking picks. I'm good on that. We're okay on that one. I do appreciate you though. Getting back to ball knowledge here. So something we talked about earlier with Derrick Rose. Bulls announcer Stacey King on Derrick Rose. He said if he never goes down, he's Michael Jordan to Chicago. So
to Chicago, that is really well put. He is the biggest thing in Chicago since Michael Jordan. Maybe even bigger just because of social media, etc. So that's not a bad comparison. Obviously, the skill isn't Michael Jordan, but impact for Chicago, yeah. That's
definitely.
Actually, something I didn't think I'd say, but
I think it's hard to tell because you can't go back and look at what Derrick Rose could have been.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I feel like if he wouldn't have had his injuries, he could have been honestly one
GOAT
of the
status was the ceiling.
Michael Jordan is fucking crazy.
There was
I wouldn't compare him to Jordan, but I would say for the time that he played in the league, like
I think I get the comparison because
just the impact. I mean, he's a Chicago kid,
so that's
born
been my
and
biggest
raised
thing.
there.
It's always been my thing. I think that's my biggest argument when it comes to greatest players ever. I don't necessarily think of greatest players ever as your skill set or I think it's what did you do for the game?
I don't think that.
What is your impact on the game?
We have talked about that. I don't think it should.
That has to matter. The impact on that has to matter.
Because
you know what I mean? Like the
no,
impact,
then
the
it's all
ball.
kind of like situational. It kind of becomes like a popularity thing in a sense.
I don't think it is though, because like you can always tell like generation, like Kobe was that generation's the Black Mamba mentality, the this, the that, the fucking this jumping over Aston Martins, like you know what I mean? Like that was Kobe's. Bron, same thing. Bron was
My
he
favorite comparison for it is
revolutionized.
AI. AI
I think
changed
AI was revolutionary.
dress code,
He was.
changed
He was
the
revolutionary for basketball.
dribble basketball, but it
So I
doesn't
think
matter.
he's the
You're
greatest.
not
I think he's one of the greatest culture impacts in the NBA's ever seen.
culture. Yes, that does not
So
make
that's what I'm
you
saying. So
a
that's
great
greatest,
player,
but
though. That doesn't make you a
no,
great
but
player.
when
know
you
what I mean?
are like the greatest player of all time should have an impact on the game.
Naturally, yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So like when you look at it, like what did Kareem's impact have on the game? Not a fucking thing. We don't talk about rules these days because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
But
We don't talk about rules these days because so that's
not
not
him not having that signature swag or that signature game change shouldn't like negatively affect him in an argument against someone like AI, as again for another example, or Vince Carter dunking and putting his arm in the rim, one of the best dunkers we've seen. That's I will give me the boring ass hook shot 40-point per game score over Vince Carter or AI any day of the week. I don't care if it's ugly. I don't care. Well, Dirk is my perfect example. Dirk is probably the elitist, most elite stretch big. Cat by the numbers, by the percentages, maybe, but Dirk is the most elite stretch big and will get no credit for changing the game and starting that stretch big phase because it's not stylish. It's not popular. It's not. Dirk's also top 6, 7 in scoring, but it's not ever it's not popular.
When Dirk beat the
if he doesn't, he's nobody. Nobody even cares about him. Like he's not nobody. Well, don't get me wrong. But nobody cares about him.
That is his defining moment. That was what made his career.
But that was all skill. It wasn't like
he came with he got his flowers for that. He got his flowers for that. People talk about that all the time as the greatest finals run ever because what he did in that final run, he beat Kobe, he beat Durant, Westbrook, Harden, he beat 12 all NBA players.
You're right. And my point being, that's all his credit. None of the credit goes for changing the game as a stretch big. It all goes to the great finals run. If it wasn't the finals run, like nobody cares that Dirk changed the game. You know what I'm saying? So like I see what you're saying, but I don't think it's I don't know that
Dirk changed the game as a stretch forward because you also got Chris Bosh at the same time.
But Dirk was before that because you also got players like Rasheed Wallace, who I like. It was a thing. Don't get me wrong, but like he kind of made it pop. Yeah. Dirk was also one of those first players that kind of got the green light. Like you can almost take any shot you want, just because that wasn't a thing in the 10s and exactly.
Steph made it cool to shoot the 3-point ball.
Exactly. But
when I say revolutionize and change the game of basketball, Steph Curry's mark on basketball will be forever felt.
Right.
The 2014, 2015, 2016 Steph Curry years will be talked about in basketball until all of us are dead, our kids are dead. You know what I mean? Like it'll be hundreds of years later, and they will talk about this era of the impact of basketball. Because, like, bro, we went from shooting 43s a game to shooting 120 threes. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That making it cool to like he changed literally the style of basketball you had to play. The Warriors started the small ball. They started the running Sean Livingston at the 4. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like Steph changed the style of basketball in which it was played.
I feel like every generation has like their own person who's put their own like inspiration into the game and changed it.
So I think it's greatest of generation. It's not greatest of all time. I don't think there can be a greatest of all time because that's disrespecting everybody else's generation.
I think the only reason there can be a greatest of all time is because when it's all said and done, every player scores points, every player rebounds the ball, every player passes the ball, every player plays defense.
Yeah, but it's unfair.
If you multiple
those.
more elite than the next quote unquote greatest player, why
It's
aren't
the
you
thing
better?
is though, but it's more so like I think you got to leave 90s and early 2000s alone. We got to stop comparing greatest of all time to them because the volume in which we play basketball to this day, the volume of shots, the volume of all of that stuff it's not comparable. So if we're comparing it's early 2000 or like late 2000s, like 2010s to now, which is a 15-year gap, that's where I think you can say, okay, this is where the greatest player of all time came from. But I think we gotta stop. I think this is now where we can start saying greatest of all time, I guess. But like it shouldn't be. I think greatest era, it should be that. So I don't think it's like I said, I think it's unfair to compare because the 70s were different than the 80s. Like rules changed
Rules,
every
play
5 years.
style.
Right. They do different rules every 5 years in the NBA. They add new rules every 5 years. So it's like every half of a decade, you're changing rules of a basketball. You know what I mean? So it's like nowadays, I think it's easier to get buckets nowadays. I think it's you see far more NBA bums getting 50 than you ever saw back in the day. Fucking these days, you'll see the 17th man off the bench come in and just drop 60.
I also
I also
I'd like
think
to
I
base
think
it
the
off.
skill
the
range is a little
13th
wider.
man off the bench is more skilled than
Yeah, because
the
it's a different
sixth, seventh
it's a different
man.
age.
Right.
It's a
Base
different
it a
age
lot
of
off
basketball.
position too.
Agreed. It's all it's that's why it's so subjective, and that's why again I don't think it's. I've never, and like, you can ask anybody that knows me. I've never said greatest of all time in anything. I've always said greatest of this generation because I just don't think it's. I don't think it should be. I feel like personally it's disrespectful to the game to say somebody's generation is better than the other because it's all subjective to what we saw, we see, we live in, we feel, we know the emotion, we get it. We know what it's like to sit here in front of our TV and watch our favorite team ball out. We don't know what it was like to do that shit in the 90s when you were listening to that shit on radio. That was fandom. Fandom
Right.
this day is different than fandom then. But you had to turn on a fucking radio to listen to the games back in the 60s, 70s. You know what I mean? So it's like people were a lot more committed to being fans then. So it's like a lot of people stopped caring for a while, and then they only care when greatest of all time is brought up. And they want to be like, well, Michael Jordan, who fucking cares? Michael Jordan was the greatest of the 90s. Yeah, no doubt. He ran the 90s. 2 3-peats. You can't say shit, right? Like, that's great. Braun, 7 years, 8 years in a row going to the finals. That's dominant. It's a decade of dominance. So it's like I think it's just generational. I don't think it's all time because it's like that takes credit away from past. I think it brings a negative connotation to past tense.
That's fair.
That's not only
As a sports fan,
that's been
that's
my
fair.
biggest thing. Because it's like, why can't we just appreciate everybody? Appreciate everybody that deserves their flowers. Like, let's give the flowers their due and not take flowers from other people to give people their flowers. You don't gotta take other people's roses to make other people's bouquets bigger. Just give them the same bouquet. Give them the same love. It isn't, you know what I mean? That's the thing. That's always been my
But
biggest thing.
what
with
if
that
one
shit.
of
Like,
them deserves 1 or 2 extra flowers?
but that's subjective. You know what I mean? That's everybody thinks differently on that. Nobody, I don't think I've ever met anybody that has ever agreed on anything about greatest of all time in anything. Because everybody has like, well, he had one game in like 1979 where he had 36 points and 17 rebounds. Okay. Like, that's fucking fantastic.
So my question
That's the
then,
thing.
so my question here then is, how much do numbers matter?
I mean, it's subjective. It all depends on what you look at to your definition of great. Your definition of great is going to be different than mine, Berg's, anybody, because your definition of great is how you see greatness. It's how you see greatness. That's how you define greatness by points, rebounds, assist, however you do it. Some people say, oh, championships. If we're going championships, Robert Horry is the greatest fucking basketball player ever.
Right.
Brought 7 rings and
Bill
did nothing.
Russell. Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So you see, my point is like it's so subjective that it's a endless argument. It's a losing argument
It's almost
because
like
nobody's
having,
ever going to be right.
It's like they're in the conversation, the greatest shooter. I mean, obviously of this generation here, you have Steph Curry. And then you kind of dial all the way back. You go completely back into like Larry Bird. And then obviously, you had like Ray Allen in the conversation for his time. But
That's
I don't
that's a good point. Like,
like you
I
said,
wouldn't
it's all a
say
generational thing.
like something like that is a little more like that is more a little specific because like nobody's saying Michael Jordan's the greatest. Like, let's say LeBron
Mid-range
James is the
scorer all
yeah.
time. So it's
LeBron
like, yeah,
James
that was a
isn't the
little
greatest.
more
The Steph
specific.
Curry being the greatest 3-point shooter ever is just clear as fucking day. Brother broke the record in 632 less games than Ray Allen. Like that's just it's just the man was just on a different clip because it's just he's the once in a generational kind of guy. Victor Wembanyama is going to break every blocks record that has ever existed ever because he's 7'6" and he's averaging like 4 blocks a game. Brother just had 10 blocks in a row, 10 blocks, 2 games in a row. Like dude is just fucking tossing shit because he's 7'6". He doesn't
LeBron
have
will
But it's not
retire
even shoot
first
at
in
that point.
points, top 5 in assists, top 5 in rebounds. You know, like
that's what I'm
everybody
like.
does something.
Everybody does something.
Shaq will forever be the most dominant player in his. I can't say forever. For a long while, he'll probably be the most dominant player in history.
Touch Shaquille O'Neal. Will never
I don't know. One day we might see a 400-pound, 7'2"
fuck dog.
robot.
Zach Edey. Wow, Zach Edey is just
Right?
a little stronger, bro.
Donovan Clingan. Imagine Steven Adams if he was like an athletic freak.
Yo, Steven Adams, I'd sign him up to any team.
You know how many big men said that's the strongest person they've ever gone against, and it's not even close.
Ever. They're like, bro's like Aquaman.
Yeah.
He looks like Aquaman.
He literally.
But that's like, so it's greatest of all time is really subjective in every sport. And everything really in life.
Yeah.
Because like, again, everybody's definition of greatness is
Different. Exactly.
So it's like, I think it's more a disservice to the game for us to say this person's generation is greater because they did what they did with what they had at their time. We don't know what it was like to hoop at their time. They were hooping in fucking Converses. We're hooping in the latest and greatest in Nike and New Balance. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't know. I think of things like that, like how like sports medicine's advanced, how money's advanced. Bro, motherfuckers are signing contracts for $500 million. I don't know if anybody knows, but that's a lot of fucking money. People back then were signing for $870,000 for 5 years. Oh, you're getting paid $46,000 a year to play in the NBA. That's just that. It's generationally different. It's just like it's like jobs.
Right.
Like the jobs we all have in real life were not the same 20 years ago.
Right.
Rules, procedures, policies changed.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be like, man, Aaron's the greatest employee of all time. He's been here 36 years. Well, 30 fucking years ago, I promise you, but he was not working how he's working nowadays.
Right.
Not the same. And that's how I think, I don't know. Maybe that's a weird way to look at it, but
No, that's fair.
like
that's really
like
fair.
The fairest way to look at it is that like I appreciate everything for everything. Like I like being a student of the game is like I enjoy hearing about old time. I just don't like when old heads try to shit on New Day. Cause then I'm like, all right, you're kind of fucking lame. Like Shaq and all them when they do all that bullshit that they do. All right, brother. Like, we get it. You're mad at Rudy Gobert getting 250 M's. I understand. He should not have gotten 250 M's. We all know that. Can't control that, bro. You were just born 20 years too early.
That's true.
So yeah, I just think it's all relative. It's all just what you personally think.
Yeah.
But the last thing that I want to touch on real quick. We're at the end here, actually. We're done with what we got to talk about. I do have a couple things I want to throw at you guys. So Tyson Fury has announced his retirement from boxing. I don't know if anybody's a boxing fan, but
Crazy.
the fact that he's leaving the sport with a 34-2-1 record. He just lost his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's retiring. I'm like, bro, how are you gonna retire on a loss?
Right.
Really,
He's gonna come out of retirement. No, he's gonna come out of retirement for dramatic effect. Oi, I'm back to fight. And you come out. Bing,
He was a
bing,
good
bing.
entertainer. It was a good fun.
I fuck with Tyson Fury.
It was
I
fun
put
to
him
watch.
and Conor McGregor in the same
Right. Little
same
boat.
realm.
Not the greatest,
Conor.
but super fun to watch. Super entertaining.
I like Conor a lot. I think Conor's fucking hilarious.
Conor McGregor has my favorite quote of all time. I never lose. I either win or I learn.
Yeah.
I like.
He also has my favorite hot mic, bro. Said the double champ does what the fuck he wants.
I like Paddy Pimblett.
Paddy Pimblett's fucking fun.
I love
Bro blows up like a balloon every fight. That's so unhealthy. Oh, that's so unhealthy for him. What he does. I like Sugar
Right.
Sean.
I was about to say,
I'm Sean
obviously,
O'Malley
Sugar
guy.
Sean.
I feel
I'm
like,
a Sean O'Malley.
and dude, in the UFC, bro, if you can fight, you're good. But if you can't shit talk correctly, bro, you're not a fan
No.
favorite.
Oh, fuck no. I hate Colby Covington, but that man is a fan favorite.
That'd be
He
me
talks
as a
a
UFC.
lot of
You. I'm gonna kick your ass. That'd be me
Yeah,
arguing with him. Shit. He gonna
Bobby
diss the hell out of him. Like,
gotta-
you know what? You better be ready next week.
You don't smell too good.
You're mean.
You smell like shit after training.
Bro, the shit talking, I'm telling you, bro, it gets the people going, makes them,
Dog.
you know.
If there's one thing I know I can be good at, is that. Oh, I can talk that. You let me know what's up. I'll talk that shit.
Dude, I would get
got
my
it.
ass kicked so quickly in an octagon, but I'm telling you, I could talk so much shit.
I need the fuck kicked out of me, dog. Somebody's gonna roundhouse my shit. But if we're talking just pure 1v1 shit talking, I'm undefeated. Nobody's out shit talking me.
Super hot fire.
Cause I'm gonna make shit up that sounds so believable that people are gonna be like, that's kind of fucking crazy. You're like, damn, let me go Google that. You're gonna be the #1 Google search motherfucker. Because I'm gonna make something up. I'm like, yeah, his mom one time said he ain't shit. But he didn't know I knew that. And then everybody's gonna be like, damn, bro, mom don't love him.
Never fights a professional fight, but has the titles the best shit talker in the UFC.
Oh god, yeah. Gets fucking 0-13. Only
#1 trended on YouTube. UFC's boxer's mother doesn't love him.
Yeah, dead
Orphan UFC fighter.
You're gonna see fucking headlines everywhere. Nobody loves this guy. Like, damn, what did he do to you? Like, look, all he's trying to do is fight you, bro.
They're like, man, not even the fans don't even love him. Not even his own mom does. Damn.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, damn. If your mom's not cheering for you, the fans definitely are not, bro.
Oh, word.
The fans are definitely not.
You probably already won the fight at that point. Morale's at 0. It's over for that dude.
Oh, God.
Bro didn't even know his mom didn't love him until he started fighting you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Bro had zero idea about your past. Bro made that shit up and comes out to be true. That's the fucked up, guys. What's up for him? All right, Berg. So we're at the end here. This is how this works. Bobby has BBL Bobby. It's not BBL Bobby, but it's so much funnier to say. So much funnier to say. I wish we could have made it work. I fucking wish we could have made it work, bro. That would have been comedy. So Bobby has his BBT, Bobby's bold takes. Then I finish the day with CT's crazy stats of the day. And both of these things are brought to you by the two of us.
Indeed.
Straight work to find out these things. Well, Bobby's more so he just he said some crazy shit. Some of the crazy shit he said we're seeing how it's panning out, and it's we'll just say Bobby's record in picking games last year in college football was not very good. He did have a couple upsets he called.
The win-loss ratio on picking games, not good. Predicting things that will generally happen in sports, pretty good. Because I said Amen Thompson was my 6th player of the year award winner, and he's actually balling.
You did call that. I didn't. DeAndre Hunter wins that from the Hawks, but bro's averaging 19s and 7.
Yeah.
But he did call. He called Buffalo being pretty good. So like some of his bold takes, he's
called Houston
he's
beating Buffalo by a game-winning field goal. Some things I say are just not good at picking games. Anyways,
no, bro.
With that, I got one I think you'll kind of like today. I have bold take number one. I think Dallas made the biggest mistake since OKC let James Harden walk for Serge Ibaka. Dallas letting Jalen Brunson go was the biggest mistake we've seen in 15 years. It's just not noticed because Luka is so skilled. Nobody talks about it. What does that show? I don't know if that shows how underrated Luka is. The fact that that team lost what's now probably a top 5-ish player in the league, and nobody batted an eye at it in a sense.
No, that's crazy because I 1,000% agree with that.
Could you imagine a Luka Jalen Brunson backcourt right now?
But I don't think Jalen Brunson becomes the player he does if he stays in Dallas.
I could see
the freedom he had.
I think it all depends on
because he went to New York and became instant number one.
And became the number one. But we also see Kyrie, who kind of like bought in and doesn't look like a number two. It's kind of 1A, 1B.
I like the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that backcourt would have been nuts. That's a good one.
My other one, not as crazy, and I kind of feel like it's been playing into what I've been saying recently. How I said last episode, I think the GOAT for quarterback, when it's all said and done, will be Mahomes 1, Brady 2, Josh 3. I now believe I am sold. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson retire 1 and 2. They retire over Randy and Jerry. Jettas and Jamar Chase retire number 1 and number 2. I don't think they let up. I think they continue to break records, and I think they finish as the best 2 receivers in NFL history.
That's a crazy one. Oh, that's nuts. That all you got?
Yep.
Fuck. That was a nuts one. That one was crazy.
Younger generation, man, it's just crazy.
So we'll finish the day with Mr. CT's crazy stats of the day. Number probably 1 is on January 5th, 1971, the Harlem Globetrotters lost 100-99, which ended their 2,495 game winning streak.
Like that many games. That doesn't even seem realistic.
Bruh, sad times.
That's when the Harlem Globetrotters were actually playing hoops, and they weren't just like fucking
about. A circus show.
Yeah. Like you go to the game and you know who's obviously gonna win now.
Nah, 2,500 game winning streak. You have never lost a game since the team was orchestrated.
I think they've won every game since then. I don't think they've lost since then.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Bro, I've seen the Globetrotters in person. They're actually pretty fun.
Never seen it.
They're 110% entertaining.
Yeah, they're entertaining as fuck. That stuff's definitely, it's worth it. So crazy stat number 2 is the Texans scored 372 points this season and allowed 372 points this season. They're the first team since 2014, the Chargers, to finish the season with a 0-point differential.
Wow.
And they're the team that's about to try to represent the AFC.
And I was just about to say they're a team potentially coming out of the AFC, so that's pretty crazy. Because you got teams like Buffalo and Kansas City with like a fucking plus 80 point differential or something crazy. So for them to be that good with a 0-point differential is actually pretty nuts. Kind of shows the coach.
Third one is Giannis Antetokounmpo became the first player in NBA history to have exactly 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists in the game. It's the first person to have 11, 12, 13.
That's funny.
Hey, shout out to Berg. I put this one in here for Berg. Final crazy stat of the day is Bailey Zappi was the 40th quarterback to start for the Browns since 1999.
Bro.
Damn.
I'm looking at the back of the jersey. Just seeing how
brother, don't stop. I would never buy another Browns quarterback jersey ever.
40 quarterbacks in 25 years is crazy.
Dude, there's the one guy who goes to the game and he has every name on the back.
I've seen that on SportsCenter before.
I love that guy.
They're starting almost they're starting a quarterback and a half a year.
That's crazy.
So damn near 2 quarterbacks a year.
Bro, they have him on like standby.
No, bro, they got the motherfuckers they just try out people at the local YMCA.
Facts, dude. I should move to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
dead
nice
ass. I can go
little
play quarterback
contract.
right now. Bro, I go throw as many picks as fucking Jameis Winston. What's up with it? Hey, look. So when y'all boys, whenever y'all ever been to a gym, y'all ever sat in a sauna?
Nah.
Listen, gang. Started going to the gym, right? And I started sitting in the sauna. Let me tell you, I put this whole podcast together yesterday sitting in the sauna.
The mental stress relief alone from it is worth it.
Oh, dog. You're sweating out everything. You're sweating out. That shit's 100, like, I think that bitch was like 135 degrees. Hot as fuck. And then some jackass poured water on the rocks. She made it even hotter because I was sitting in there tweaking. I was like, and I had a hoodie and sweats on because I was really trying to sweat.
Oh,
Dog, I'm trying
God.
to cut weight down, right? And so like I was trying to sweat that shit out. Cuz poured the rocks, I took the hoodie off. I was like, yeah, fuck that, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die in this bitch. My AirPods got hot, started burning my ears and shit. I was like,
Bro, CT wouldn't have been here.
no, CT was not, bro. This podcast would be no longer. Shit would be done. Shit would be over, guys. All right. But listen, I survived. I survived the hot ass sauna. Hopefully, bro's not there today when I go because I'm actually getting ready to. It's 12:30. I'm gonna go shower, eat something, wait for my lady to get home, go to the gym. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's not there again. If he pours water on it, I'm leaving. I'm getting up, walking up. I'm not sitting in the hot ass room again, bro. Fuck that shit. Smells like shit because the rocks aren't supposed to have water on them.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're out of here. Berg, we appreciate you coming on, brother.
For sure.
We appreciate you being here. It was our honor to have you as, the first guest ever on the Full Season Podcast. Won't be the last time you see Berg. I'm sure we'll have him back anytime he wants. He's welcome.
Definitely.
Anybody from the gang that wants to come by and talk, they're always more than welcome to come sit in the chair, the theoretical chair that is their own. That's why I like the way Bobby and I do it with the Discord thing, because I feel like we can really get anybody anywhere.
Yeah, it makes it definitely, easier to, have pretty much anybody at that point.
Yeah. We're gonna get an overlay fixed for 3 squares to have the full season. We just didn't have time. We kind of threw the guesting together last night.
Yeah.
I hit Bobby and was like, yo, you want to do this? He was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, let's do it. So we did it. It just shows you how fast we'll push it together. But no, I appreciate you both. Berg, it was an honor.
Yep.
Bobby, as always, it's an honor.
Yes, sir.
Honor and a privilege. Berg, go ahead and give yourself a little shouty outy where the people can find you personally.
Oh, all of my socials are just Brigski.
Yeah, we'll link them below.
BVRGSKI.
Have them linked below.
He's literally Bergsky everywhere. It's everywhere. It's literally the same thing everywhere. How bro got it everywhere is kind of fucking impressive. But yeah, we'll link his stuff below as well. Bobby will link all of our important stuff. It'll be
Right
somewhere below me.
Right there. Found it.
Yeah, he'll link all that. You can find us at the Full Season Podcast everywhere. But until next time, we'll see everybody next week. Remember to be you and be great. Peace. All right, and that's a wrap, gentlemen.